We are live. Tornado Tag Podcast, episode 127. I was gonna name this just call it Spooky Shit, but I went with Spooky Gimmicks.
Oh, okay. Well, some of them were shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
That's very appropriate.
The Yeti
The
was
Yeti.
spooky shit.
yeah. So we are going to talk about all things spooky in professional wrestling. We can talk gimmicks. We can talk matches, promotions. There's going to be a little bit of everything going on here. We have a lot to cover. We're going to talk some basic stuff that's going on in today's wrestling because there's some stuff I want to talk about that just recently happened. But first, let's get into our housekeeping materials. Always make sure to go check out the IWEP Network's new website, www.iwepnetwork.com. It'll link you to all of our other shows, Truth Behind Illusion, Not Cool in High School. We Like Professional Wrestling, which is our other wrestling podcast that's on the network. Higher Than Other Words, welcome back. There's a few of them on. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just go check out the website. Also, we've been asking for some reviews. If you leave a review, we will read it on the podcast. We're also going to start reading off comments. So if you guys leave comments and stuff that we didn't get a chance to see, we will take care of that as well. The website will also take you to our merch pages, our Patreons, our donations, anything you want to do there. The website for the merch will be slowly adding more and more logos. So essentially what I did is I took all the logos off of TeePublic. The main logos are on TeePublic. Everything else is going to go to Teespring. So you can get the main stuff on TeePublic, but the majority is going to be pushing you to Teespring because I think Teespring's starting to get on there.
Once you do more than one, people get confused.
Yeah. Well, the TeePublic's cool because it does the sales all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we're like starving, like we're not super hungry for money, but like you get like $1 per t-shirt from TeePublic, even with this, like even if it's not on sale. And hoodies are really expensive, even out the sale.
$48 or something.
Yeah. So I can give you a premium hoodie on Teespring for $30.
Yeah.
And
Much better. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just like, if we're
Send everyone to Teespring, that's fine.
yeah, so we're just sending everyone to
You don't
Teespring.
need
It's
to.
just spring now.
Yeah.
Spring. Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah. So I want to give everyone a better value as well as we can make a little bit more of a cut too because they just provide more of a cut. So definitely go keep an eye on that. But we want to thank our Patreon subscribers. So we have $1 and $5 tier. You can support the podcast. We have a brand new Patreon member.
You don't need to say
Well, we're going to promote your business. That's what you do it for.
Yeah.
So Crystal Mountain
business.
Healing. We'll get into who's sitting at the table here in a moment after we get through all the housekeeping. But
I'm
Kelly,
Brian, by the way.
for Crystal Mountain
I'm
Healing,
sitting at the table.
yeah, he's the
I'm
head
the
of the
head
table.
of the table. That's right.
You are the head of our table.
Acknowledge me.
We do. You're amazing.
the
Thank
place
you.
of importance.
Tommy Borsrath. I probably always fuck that up. Tree of Life Metaphysical
That
Shop.
should be the thing. Start fucking up. Like,
Yeah.
Tommy
different
Bohr
every
said.
time.
Yeah. Higher Than Other Words.
Tommy Borzane.
Jay Horror, and Austin Blackwell. So thank you everyone for the Patreon subscribers. Like I said, it's $1 or $5, so you can set your own price as long as it's above $1. It helps us pay for things like StreamYard so we can go live and all that other fun stuff. And it's very, very helpful. So we thank you. We have our 3 sponsors, the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop. They are dedicated to providing quality metaphysical and holistic goodies to you. Not only are an online presence, but they have a brick and mortar store located in Ringtown, Pennsylvania. They have something for everyone. So stop in or shop on online and see what you can find. Come grow with us. This episode, the network is sponsored by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're new to podcasting, an existing podcaster, or looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Use code IWEP Network for 10% off your order. That's IWEP Network. And then last one, Abaddon Tattoo Studio, a unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania, and Pottsville, Pennsylvania. They provide.
You really have to rewrite that.
What is that?
Small towns.
Good call.
Yeah.
They provide high
Rewrite
quality.
it. Just add an S at the end of town.
I just memorized it. Now you want to add an S to it? No,
He's
anyway.
French Canadian.
Well, they didn't have the second location
When they
started.
see we've grown with them and they've grown with us, they provide high quality tattoos and piercings in a relaxed professional sterile environment. So all of that is also on our website if you go to our sponsor links.
Also, no longer sterile.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we threw that out the window. No, and go get tattoos like they say on Welcome Back. So that is going to cover our housekeeping. We want to welcome our newest member to the. Yeah, we need Blue Chew.
So we can do funny dick commercials.
If
we should just do funny commercials anyway.
yeah, we just make them up. If we got like sponsored by Blue Chew. Would you try it?
Yeah, why not?
Will we all?
There's no negatives. I have a penis, a hard penis for several.
We would pop them during the podcast and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, let's see what happens to you. That's what will be the thing.
You're the control group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the control.
What will happen if a female takes it?
Yep.
Blue Chew, baby.
We always make jokes that like we do the whole podcast with no pants on because nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
Because we're just sitting here.
Yeah. We might even have legs.
We don't even own legs.
Own legs.
We don't own any.
Random.
I thought
So
of
I
a
can come in my
horrible joke
yoga
that I'm
pants
not
and
going to
nobody's
say.
gonna care.
Yeah.
I
So
know. I hear you.
welcome to the network, as well as you're going to see her on this show. You're going to see her on Truth Behind Illusion, and you're going to see her on Not Cool in High School. She's going to pull the Andy of the show. She's going to be on a little bit of everything.
A little bit
Kel-
of everything, yeah.
welcome to the show,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
How
Thank
you doing?
for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm actually super excited to be able to talk wrestling to other people besides myself and my father, because
No
that's
way.
the only people I know that like it.
That's a
Yeah,
shame.
so we met at the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop. We did a podcast just recently there, and the first time I ever went, soon as I walked in, I was like, all right, you're a fan of Truth Behind Illusion. She's like, I am, but I also really like Tornado Tag Podcast. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
She knows what the real mothership is.
Yeah. And and we started talking wrestling in between things, and she pulled a chair up and she was super into it. And you
Did
started
she
talking.
hit you with the chair.
Yeah.
She almost she tried. And she started talking. And I was like, you know your shit. Like you know professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like this
not,
is
not just like I like John Cena.
Oh, God, please no.
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh.
No, you know your shit, and you're very passionate about wrestling. And I was like, I think she'd be a good fit. And now we'll have a female perspective on professional wrestling, which I think is important.
Yeah,
For-
it is. But I'm like I say to everybody, I'm kind of like a boy and not, like just another one of the boys in the sense.
Yeah.
So if there's a wrestler that you think is hot, we'll
I-
do like hot or not. you
All
know?
right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's where
do
we're
it,
at.
do it.
Yeah. So if we're like when he's marking out over Alexa Bliss and I'm going
Yeah.
over Ember Moon, you could be like, Kenny Omega.
Oh, that he is. He's
Yeah.
my number one.
Oh,
Number
wow.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega.
So we'll have some fun with this. And I think it's cool to have that perspective and to learn more. And like I said, we're gonna start bringing you along if you're free to some independent
I
stuff.
would love to go. And like some of the stuff, like, I shouldn't say this on podcast, but I'm hard driving in the city because I'm a good farm girl. Like I can
Just
take
ride
the
with
back
us.
roads, but yeah, if you don't mind taking
Yeah.
me along with you, I'll give you gas money and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we do. We roll up all together, and
Yeah.
well,
Wait,
Andy
but
kind of goes himself.
There's
But
never really shows in real big city. Like,
Yeah,
I
don't-
don't want to do a show in New York City. Like it's too
know.
much.
You don't want
Too
to.
much.
You don't want to be on the Hammerstein GCW show.
Yeah, teleport me.
Yeah.
we will probably be there at that show. I want to see a show at Hammerstein.
Oh, what is that?
It's a Sunday,
It's not
the 23rd of January.
So really excited to have you.
You park, you take a train in. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Well,
Park in Jersey.
before we get into our stuff, I just want to do a little bit of a deep, let the audience know about you. Like, when did you get into professional wrestling?
I honestly cannot remember like an age. I can just remember growing up with Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth, that kind of stuff. Because my dad always liked it. My dad and my uncle and my cousin, they used to go all together. I wasn't alive yet then, but they used to go to the live shows around here.
Nice.
Very
And
cool.
they used
Probably
to sit
probably
front row. and
Hamburg and
stuff.
Allentown.
Yeah, Hamburg, Allentown, Hershey was one I know.
Okay.
Stacy, that was my dad's biggest story that Stacy Richter like landed on his lap. He was always like,
Wendy Richter.
Wendy.
yeah, Wendy. That's it,
Yeah.
Wendy.
Well, back
think
then
it
in
was
the
Stacy
80s,
Keibler.
he's probably like, Wendy Richter.
Hey.
And then she married that one Spanish announcer guy,
Oh,
Hugo Savinovich.
I think that's something. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Brian, you're gonna be here and just be like, "What the fuck, Brian? Like, how do you're like walking Wikipedia?"
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We all learn. I mean, I learned stuff because I thought I knew wrestling, and everyone's like, "You're the wrestling guy," until I met these two, and I'm like, I don't know shit. I'm like a novice. What do you currently watch now?
Just AEW. I'd like to get into Impact a little bit, but like I said, I have no access to that. Like I don't have any like normal television. It's just internet and stream, and that's
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna
So-
get you into the indie scene. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
good time.
See,
Come
that
listen.
was something I never like went around to. Like I actually
So much
didn't know
fun.
existed really around here. Like
Yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
know, you don't.
you don't know, you don't know. No, and then like I said, my wrestling group was small. It's me and my father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And so my dad still listens and watches. He watches everything though. He
Okay.
watches WWE still, and I can't.
is he gonna
I can't
watch?
handle
Is he gonna listen to the podcast? We have to be careful what we say.
No.
Okay.
No.
All
He,
right.
he doesn't have the internet, so
Yeah.
he still
I
has
was gonna say,
regular cable.
probably doesn't know podcasts. Like my mom,
Oh.
she wouldn't know what a podcast is from
Yeah.
on the ground.
I mean, my parents know what the podcast is, but
Yeah.
I don't think they ever listen.
Yeah.
I've talked a lot of shit.
Oh,
I never got a phone call.
yeah.
My
Uh,
parents don't listen either.
Yeah.
They're-
So
They're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Halloween time.
Halloween spooky.
Ooh.
If you are in the live chat, let us know you're watching. Put in the comments your favorite spooky wrestlers or gimmicks, and we will get to them. So the first thing I want to talk about, speaking of AEW, not last show.
I think you're gonna say, speaking of dead, ROH.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Speaking of dead.
We will get into that in a moment too. Me and Brian and I were talking about this on the way to Sanctuary. There was a match that has two people I really, really enjoy and didn't realize I wanted that match until I seen the graphic pop up, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Oh, when I saw it, I'm like, this is gonna be so good.
Anderson and Goldust.
Yes.
Yeah.
And holy fuck,
It was pretty good.
it was a masterpiece match.
Yeah.
Like low key a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
The way he played into the crowd, like the way the pacing of that match was, the way it was he's so fucking good.
Dustin's still good. He's 52, right?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Always
always
his
been
best shape of his career. I agree. When he came back, when he was tagging with the Cody and they won the tag titles, that's when he was like really good shape. And
Mhm.
you guys like, wow, Dustin's really good. Why are they not using him?
Because
Yeah.
there was a while there especially when he was Black Rain in TNA, where
Oh.
he was not good. He was,
Speaking of spooky.
yeah, and he would always have a rat
Yeah.
that he would bring out with him. It was his Arctic Fox Misty, and Black Rain was Goldust, but he was all in gray with like this weird face paint. Dustin was in like the worst shape of his life.
Yeah,
and
he was heavy.
having some.
he probably had alcohol and drug
Drug
problems
and
at that
alcohol,
point.
Yeah.
absolutely did. Where now he's cleaned up, great family. And he's always talking about his son. You know, I believe
he is
Yes.
a transgender.
Yeah, yeah.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like just such a good wrestler.
So the way that match played out, I was like, this is a fucking masterpiece.
The match with Cody might still be my favorite AW match.
Yeah, that one's really good. When they were all bloody.
Ooh,
Yep.
yeah, that was
Cody
really
was.
it was good. Oh, like what made that was once again the emotion he put through. Like he just tells a story with his eyes.
Mhm.
Like when he was just staring at Daniel and Brian, he was just like looking at him like, I want to be a world champ, but this is the guy I have to go through to do.
Mhm.
Like he was telling a story without commentary, without anybody, just with his eyes.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good. I don't know. I was just blown away by it. Like the rest of the show, nothing else mattered after that.
He's one of those guys that has his feet in both worlds. He understands today's wrestling. He understands the
Yeah,
wrestling.
because he started in what, 88?
Yeah, he was in WWF in like 89.
Yeah, tagging
90.
with Dusty in that with like one Survivor Series.
Rumble.
Rumble, yeah,
It was
Rumble,
Mhm.
them against DiBiase and Virgil.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was before his whole Goldust.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
way
that was
before.
way
Yeah, because
before.
then we go to WCW for a few years.
It was the natural.
And speaking of, they have a sweet Ricky Steamboat action figure coming out. They announced a new line today,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
the new Sean.
and he
looks
comes
good,
with the
too.
WCW TV title.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's a chase. One he has white pants, one he has yellow.
Yeah, the new
There's
Sean
a
looks
Mr.
good.
T. Yeah, that's
Has a-
from a different series. I don't know what that one because that's kind of like a
Hasbro looking thing.
Hasbro,
Right?
but not.
Yeah, and it comes with the blue Intercontinental title.
Yeah, which is weird. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna do a line of them. That'd be pretty cool. Like Hasbro's, but with
I
more
want the waterfall
configuration.
mullet, white,
New cow
white.
pants.
Well, it's more zebra. I think. he
Yeah,
went with, yeah,
right.
the
He
zebra
had
look.
zebra.
Yeah,
It wasn't cow.
Yeah.
It was like cow blotches with zebra
It was- it
stripes.
was a
through-
heart
through
with
the
zebra
blotches.
stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
the heart.
yeah. I fucking love that. That's my favorite. If I can own a pair of gear or something, like there's women leggings on eBay that you can buy.
Yeah,
that are
that-
like wrestling themed.
Yeah, I look
And
like
I
tights.
almost wanted to buy all of the Sean ones just so I own them.
God, I have to look. I'll have to look at that.
I wanted to make the
Yeah,
shitty
I-
brown ones when he came back for the Street Fight with Triple H.
They should do a thing where they take
Pretend
the
that never
Shawn
happened.
action figure, and when you try to make it lose, it turns into Chucky and just starts trying to kill you.
Yeah,
It doesn't work for me.
Nope, can't lose
unless
the
it gets
title if
beat
you.
up by 10 to 15 other
G.I.
random action
Joes.
figures.
It was
Sorry.
it was 750 Marines. All right? Don't get it.
It was a
wrong.
whole platoon.
It was a small army that beat up Shawn Michaels.
Like he got jumped by SEAL Team 6. It's okay. It happens
Yeah.
to people.
So I don't even know what you were talking about.
The toy line. What was before the toy line? I feel like this is murder my dude now.
Goldust.
Gold
Dust,
Gangs
yeah.
and Rhodes,
Yeah, Brian, remember this.
I feel
I did.
I feel the same about Bobby Fish and CM Punk. I thought that,
That
was
was an
very
excellent
good.
No, that was excellent. Yeah.
Now, when I was watching it, I don't think that kick out was supposed to happen.
He looked pissed at Paul Turner.
I don't know. I think because like the kick out was like the whole match he's working on CM Punk's knee, so he couldn't hit the go to sleep 100. Excuse me,
Oh.
100% because I'm possessed because his knee was all fucked up. So that's why he was able to kick out a little bit. It
Yeah.
was like Hogan and Warrior WrestleMania 6 when Hogan kicks out,
Mhm.
even though he got bit.
Yeah, I'm
I think they have an air
happy.
match.
I'm happy for Bobby.
I'm sure they probably want to have an air match. They probably know each other from back in the day.
Yeah, Bobby Fish is
Bobby Fish been
awesome.
wrestling 15 years. I think they said
Yeah,
something like that.
he's like 45.
Yeah.
Dude.
He was
He doesn't look that old though to me.
You
No,
know?
I think the mustache makes him look a little.
he
Yeah.
was such a cool conversation. Like
Really?
yeah, hanging out at PPW. At PPW I had to like they were just like, hey, can you help with the meet and greet? And I was like, all right, who am I with? So I've already had to like I got to sit and talk. It wasn't a huge conversation. It took a while to get him going, but I was with Eric Rowan for like a couple hours.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I was with, I think that was it. I didn't do the next meet and greet. And then I went to this one. They're like, you're going to sit with Bobby Fish. And I just talked to like he was all for conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah,
cool.
rather than just sit there and be like,
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
super cool.
But there are some guys I imagine that are
yeah, they're
pricks.
yeah, there
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. And then he actually remembered your tag team partner.
Yeah, how about that?
And then I was like, you guys like Matt, if you're not,
Yeah.
if you're at the show, get over to this table.
It's so funny because there was this little back area where you go from the area where they were doing that to where the all the wrestlers are getting ready. And after we're talking to him, he's like, "Yeah, I remember Turner." I walk to the other end of the arena where the wrestling is. I go through there's a back door, and then there's this outside area where all the wrestlers are kind of congregating. And the first person I see is Matt Turner.
and you're like, Bobby Fish is talking about you.
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly what happened.
He's really cool. He was super cool, dude. I was, and then the Ascension was really cool. I got to talk to him a little. I actually had more of a conversation with the Ascension than Rowan. And they were at the table next to me. But yeah, he was super cool. So I'm happy he signed. I think he's one of those guys that just brings something to a locker room.
Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish. Yeah, he's someone that brings a really good presence to the locker room, I feel. And I just think like not every guy you're gonna sign is to be a world champ, but some guys are just good to have in your locker room. And I think that's Bobby. I think he's good to have.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Good.
they're really building a good locker room, like a
Mhm.
good like veteran, trying to teach the younger guys like how to act, how to be. I think too, which
Yeah.
is good.
Well, anything else we want to talk about AEW before we switch gears? Or I mean, the tournament's still going on, which is we're getting some cool stuff for the tournament. Oh, Lance Archer's
Well, there's
moonsault.
2 tournaments.
Oh yeah, he under rotated that, and that was scary
Yeah,
for
he's not
that.
going to be at that show. On
I didn't think
Saturday.
he was going to be.
He got
That's
replaced
the one
by-
thing I wanted to ask him.
Yeah.
After that happened, I'm like, oh, he's
Yeah.
not gonna be at that show.
Yeah, that's why I figured he was going to take a little
Oh, yeah.
time off. He's
Yeah.
replaced by Carlito, so it's like,
It's kind of cool.
That's not cool.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's not cool.
That's not-
Yeah. Well, Carlito will be in the area that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's Well, that's PPW will be the next week, so 2 weeks
Yeah.
in a row. Yeah,
It'll be PPW. What's it called? Generations, I believe. Traditions.
I think so. Yeah,
Traditions.
and they announced PCO in December. coming.
Yes.
I like that.
It's pretty
He's a-
cool.
he's a
gonna be in
hero.
sight, Yeah,
He's a hero. One eye he can catch a ball.
yeah.
He's a hero.
And
The
he's
next
undead now.
the
so-
next PPW show will be Carlito. It will be Devon Dudley's kids.
Yeah, Terrence and Terrell. I
Hughes,
believe. Yeah,
And I believe is there another
Tito
name?
Santana.
Tito
Reba.
Arriba. Good call. I forgot. Tito Santana. We will be there. Getting some stuff. Hopefully, maybe getting some content. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully, that works out for us.
My
Yeah,
match not announced yet.
not your match has not been announced yet
No.
for this next show.
I have no idea.
The match I think everybody's really looking forward to though is going to be the Iron Man match.
Oh,
Casey
yeah.
Navarro, Davey Richards.
Yeah.
They're-
Call somebody out. Who do you
The
want
to-
third in the series.
to say? Look at the camera and say, Tito Santana, you're dead.
Yeah. I don't want to say that. My God.
Good call. He's old.
He's almost 70.
Yeah.
I bet you can still wrestle.
I don't think Tito will be wrestling. I'm just gonna put that out there. He's probably not. He's probably just signing off.
Who is somebody in that locker room that you haven't had a chance to work with that you would like to?
One guy's hurt.
Deshaun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro is in a match.
Hurt?
With,
He was hurt by Bobby Fish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not on purpose.
No, yeah.
Not on purpose, but during the match.
Yeah. Bro is wrestling. Who is he? He's
I mean, you're not wrestling pro until unless
Bro's
you're getting that,
wrestling,
yeah.
Bro's wrestling Joey Martinez.
Yeah.
unless you're getting that title picture.
And then
Bro's gonna be out of your
yeah. Yeah.
view for a while.
So
And-
it's like all the champs, you know.
And the other-
wrestling, but
The other match announced is Dina Steele and Elijah Eden against Cosmic and Rembrandt.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
they only announced 3 matches total. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no one on the roster jumps out at you. No one that
Then not that I haven't already wrestled.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's in a match, but Davey would be fun.
Yeah, but I don't consider him full time, even though he kind of is. I
Yeah.
don't consider him
It's
full time.
his third appearance in PPW?
I think
Is,
fourth.
is
There-
Mercedes at this show or is she not on this one?
I
I don't
don't
think
believe
she's
so.
on this one.
Okay.
I don't think they have any women names other than the ones that are normally there.
Yeah, the only
but I could be wrong.
the only people on that aren't regulars that are on the poster here are Carlito, the Hughes brothers, and Tito.
Okay.
And Action Andretti, Encore, a lot of the.
I'd like to see you in action in a one-on. You were in a
That 4-way match. yes,
four-way,
yes.
and when you guys got a chance to work together, it was good.
Oh,
I
yeah,
enjoyed
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facade's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
Hassan,
I know you've wrestled Facade.
Yeah. See, that's the I kind of wrestle everybody there. Not if it wasn't at PPW, it was somewhere else.
Mhm.
So that's why it's the Sean's top of the list.
Yeah. Yeah, he has still a little bit of a setback.
Yeah.
So, but he's in good
He'll come
spirits. It
back.
seems like I love
Yeah.
Deshaun. He's
And-
such a good guy.
And you got to be in a rumble with your all-time favorite Love Dog.
Yeah. Although we didn't, I even see him.
Yeah, he was.
He got in, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
see him. I would have did something.
He's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know who I even wrestled with there. A bunch of guys I even know because they had people that did a seminar and this got in. So, anywho,
Yeah. That's gonna cover that. This Friday, if you want to go check out some fun stuff. Tomorrow, yeah, good call. 570 fights at
Mhm.
Sanctuary. $5 to get in. You will be on that. Your
Yeah.
match has not been announced yet either for that.
No.
But there's a lot of cool matches. It's all local talent, all 570 talent.
Johnny and who's
Mike
Johnny-
Mitchell.
Yeah,
And
we're-
Mike Mitchell.
Yeah, we're going for the tag about some big guys, American Stallion.
I'm so high on Mike Mitchell. He's so good. Like he's so fucking good.
Here it is. The Mighty Militia against the American Stallions.
Mhm.
That's Matt Quay and Gordy Palco.
Oh,
Sanctuary Tag Team
Mastodon
Champions.
versus the
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Mhm.
That should be fun.
Kit Raff against Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
You have Brad DeMayo and Aaron Roxas. And AJ Evers and Matt Turner officially announced so far.
There you go.
Also
That's
appearing.
that should be a fun one too. AJ and Turner. Oh my
Yeah.
God, did you see Pete's post he put where at Backbreakers you're behind them selling merch and Turner's just kind of there and AJ walks up with it says glory and the O is cut out like a hole.
Oh no!
And he's just like, I found this. This is hilarious. And Turner just looks at it and goes, and just walks away. And Pete's like, what? Why?
Why?
It's a funny
It's
bit.
funny.
Should be a very fun show though, and it's showcasing all local wrestlers.
Mhm.
This was, I believe, this was Raj's branch.
It was, yeah.
And it was that a lot of the shows around here they get filled up by people who are coming from New York or the Philly area,
Jersey.
and let's do a show for local talent, produced by local talent, and that's what 570 Fight is. It's all local people.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. I'm happy.
Hence
and
the 570 area code.
I'm happy to be a part of it. 570 has always been a tattoo I wanted to get. I always wanted to get a 570 somewhere on me.
We also didn't mention Tony and I will be calling the action.
We will
on
be.
570 Fight.
You are currently undefeated at Sanctuary. You have
Really?
not lost yet there.
Yeah.
I mean, you technically lost during a match, but
You
it wasn't a
haven't-
Oh,
Sanctuary.
it's that three-way match, man.
You haven't lost a match that's aired yet.
Yeah, I didn't get pinned.
You've never been pinned at a Sanctuary.
Yeah.
That match hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
But it's technically
happened.
not a Sanctuary match.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
That's non-canon.
Non-canon. Well, technically, you haven't been Sanctuary canon yet.
Yeah.
You've been all non-canon.
Yeah.
But no, and he beat Andre Polino, who was a fixture at the Sanctuary.
Mm, that was a
And
big win.
Then it looked like you were going to have a handicap match against
Yeah,
the
the
flatmates.
flatmates.
But then Corey O'Ryan jumps in on Andy's side, and Brad DeMayo was the union rep for the flatmates and winds up in the match and getting pinned.
Mhm.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
That was
Well,
funny.
fortunate.
Funny stuff.
Oh, that was great.
Flatmates are always a good time, and
Mhm.
Brad cracks me up. Yeah, that's pretty much going to cover it for the local stuff coming out. Actually, there's one more thing that we're going to talk about. We're going to send it over to Brian because Brian is the only one who's seen it here so far. We're not going to go through the whole match rundown, but just a little idea of something to go check out if you're into something spooky.
Oh, yeah.
Camp Leapfrog just aired last night.
Creep Frog.
Creep
I believe
Frog.
is what it was called. Yeah, that's going to be on IWTV. I believe the archive is up. I don't know. I don't know if the
That's a good call.
Think?
I think they're working on possibly re-airing it Halloween night.
Yeah, they were talking about Halloween is going to be big for IWTV this Halloween because Halloween is the Tremont Oneida death match.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
And they were trying to maybe air Leapfrog after that.
What is that fed called that they're having that at?
H2O.
It's
Tremont's-
not
Tremont's
in
company.
H2O, but the Federation's H2O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be at the minor league baseball stadium
Oh wow,
in Trenton because they're doing like the exploding
Yeah.
double hell barbed wire.
that's insane.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to watch though.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I believe it is on IWTV. You can watch it now. On the Open Swim is also on Facebook. If you go to Facebook's Independent Wrestling is the name of IWTV's Facebook. It's a 4-way with Abs, Ron Voyage, Montekia, and the fourth person is escaping me.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's the conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah, Francis Wright.
Francis Wright.
Francis Wright, yeah. So it's a 4-way, and the commentary team for that is myself, Scott Holiday, and CC Boost,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun. CC Boost was a trip on commentary.
I got to do commentary during the Leapfrog show with and I didn't realize he was doing commentary with us, or I would have given my seat up because I didn't do much commentary at this show because
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a heat problem that
Yeah.
day. Yeah. But I got to do commentary with Ultraman as Black.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. It was.
I got to hand him his beads later.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ultraman is black, of course.
It was really funny. I said it is Creep Frog, but we've checked under the ring for portals. We got rid of all remotes. Nothing spooky can happen.
Oh, it happened.
Oh wait, I'm sitting next to Ultraman as Black.
From the Neo Suri Temple.
Yes, it was really, really cool.
So just an idea of what is in this on the show. You have a Buried Alive match as your opener. CC
Yeah.
Boost against the Spoiler. You have the Bear Witch Project match. Travis Huckabee and Kaya McKenna.
Remember Stevie Richards' blonde bitch?
The
project?
blonde bitch project. It's supposed to be like the making fun of Sable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Edith Surreal against Maxie Impaler. That's a heck of a
Ooh.
match. You
I'm
have
a fan of both of them.
a defense of the Camp Leapfrog Championship. Avery Good, professional wrestler, defending against Big Calix.
Mm.
And the main event, the Campeonatos Dorados, the outfielders, the reigning champions, Boomer Hatfield and Shay McCoy, against the Campground Slashers. Who could they be?
Who are the campground slashers who are going around murdering everybody? And the only one person can save the day.
Two people.
Two people could save the day. It is the outfielders.
Oh.
Yeah.
But one of them saves the day more than the other one. Sorry, Boomer.
And then there was another four-way match with
Oh, yeah. I didn't go over all the
JC
matches.
Storm.
JC Storm. It was a 8-person tag.
How did that turn out?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. The match was fun, and then the stuff behind the scenes was fun.
Dude, Tyrant,
I love Ty. They're some of my favorite people.
book them anywhere you can.
They're spooky. They're spooky wrestlers.
They are. They're
They're
gonna
big
be,
spooky guys.
Thorn?
we'll put some in spooky indie people in today's list too. But
Yeah, Danhausen, of course.
Yeah.
He's evil.
book them because
Mm-hmm.
Tyrant, you would think that when I first met them, and I this is not like a knock against them, but I thought like, oh, they're like bodybuilder guys,
Yeah, like, they're big guys.
they're gonna take
wearing all-
themselves way too
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be all about themselves, and it's the furthest thing of what they are. You're like, hey, we want to do shtick and comedy, and he's just like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
And then he takes it and then turns it up to 13.
Yeah,
And
Grey
then
Wolf.
pulls the hand, yeah,
Grey
great,
Wolf.
and then pulls the handle off.
That's why you don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, he's so Tyrant
And-
has low key have become one of my favorite tag teams on the
Love
indie
those
scene.
guys.
Yeah.
And just behind the scenes, kind of maybe exposing too much here, but very instrumental creatively in a lot of the stuff that in the lead up to that match, Grey Wolf was.
Yeah. And you got to film a lot of it.
I filmed it, but I was the camera guy. Grey Wolf was the director.
It is
I
really
would say,
cool
yeah.
to like when you're behind the camera,
Yeah.
and then you see your camera work get put into a show.
Yeah, like even for the slasher stuff. Again, with the stuff with that match, I would say Grey Wolf was really the director. I was just kind of the guy holding the camera.
Mhm.
But same thing with the slasher stuff. That was very much Shay McCoy.
Yeah.
Shay took.
Well, that's how I was
Took the
with
bull by
Killian
the horns
Vision.
on
I
that,
filmed
yeah.
a lot of the skits, and I was like, that was just holding the camera. Like
Yeah.
the Julius Smoke stuff, that was all Killian. I just happened to be the guy holding it, but it was
And
fun.
And also just to be able to shoot a Darius Carter promo was really
That guy's
cool, too.
special.
And that's another match on the show. Darius Carter and Miles Millennium was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So go check it out. Creep Frog on IWTV. You can subscribe. It's $9.99 a month. It is absolutely worth your subscription price. You can watch all the Camp Leapfrog, like we said, Matt Tremont versus
Onita this
Onita
weekend, yeah.
on this weekend. And there's so much like their Beyonds on there. All the old
And Beyond Wrestling is really, really, really kicking things up. They do a thing called Uncharted Territory. I think it's a weekly show. There's one tonight. Wheeler Yuta versus Masha Slamovich.
yeah, they're literally just getting dream matches and putting them on at Beyond.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Definitely check out IWTV 100. I believe a lot of old past contents on there too. Like you can check out all the old Chikara stuff.
There's
Not Chikara.
yeah, I don't
They're
think
not on there anymore.
No, Chikara never was on there.
no.
I thought it was.
No, there's a lot on there. A lot of different.
There
indies.
is old CZW fake UTV though from the early 2000s. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of fun
can
stuff on
imagine.
there. So go check it out. That'll do it for our little independent section. Any other news that you got? Anyone wants to bring up or stuff that really?
Yeah,
Well, Ring of Honor is going to be an independent if it comes back. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ring of Honor puts a post out saying,
I have the post here. I believe.
yeah, good.
I may have actually I may have closed it. Let me find it.
The birthday boys in the chat. Alex Watt.
Alex Watt,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
I would have
gave
said
us a-
happy birthday, but he has it where you can't post on his profile.
Oh,
That weirdo.
yeah, you creep.
Yeah.
You creep frog. You.
So I couldn't say happy birthday.
So happy
I'll
birthday.
post it.
Happy
he-
birthday, Alex.
He is 87 years old.
Oh my
today.
god.
Oh, wow.
He looks good though.
Is it 87 or 78?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He looks good. Looks
That's
good.
awesome.
So here's the ROH statement. It was, throughout the pandemic, our top priority was to keep everyone healthy and safe. And despite not producing any live events over 18 months, we were able to keep everyone fully contracted. We now find ourselves at a time where we need to make changes to our business operations and are planning a pivot for Ring of Honor with a new mission and strategy. The year will culminate with a final battle in December, and we'll be taking the first quarter of 2022 to work internally to reimagine ROH. ROH has the most dedicated fans in the industry, and we appreciate their loyalty and patience as we reconceptualize ROH. We anticipate returning to live events in April for the Supercard of Honor with a new fan-focused product and provide a unique experience to wrestling fans.
Also, reconceptualize is apparently not a word because when I tried to type it in, reconceptualize, there was no correction for having it wrong. And I tried to make it right, and I spelled it right how they spelled it, and still said it was wrong. So apparently that's not a word.
And
They do what they want.
I know, and then that was followed with news that all of the talent is being released in their contracts. They effective December 31st. If they were contracted longer than that, because I think a lot of ROH deals are 1 year and they end at the end of the year, kind of like Japan used to do. The ones that are under deals longer, they are going to pay them in full through March 31st.
Which is, hey, that's very cool.
Very nice
I mean,
of them.
hey, you don't have a job, but we're gonna pay you for 5 more months. Like,
that is the closest thing to severance pay I've ever heard of in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like WWE will pay people for 90 days after they fire them because they don't want them to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think ROH really cares if these people go anywhere else.
No, in fact, they're basically saying go.
Yeah,
You can go.
Well, the rumor is that probably AEW has talked to numerous talent. Is the rumor going around where
They can't.
There was
sign
a
them all.
rumor that was exposed as fake, where they said they already signed all these guys like Danhausen and
I don't think they
these people.
signed them. I think that part got embellished, but I definitely think
I would be
a
shocked.
lot of those guys are going to be on their radar.
I would be
yeah.
shocked if AEW does not sign Danhausen.
Danhausen, Jay Lethal, the Briscoes.
The only from Briscoes have some back issues.
the
that might keep them
Briscoes-
from getting signed.
The Briscoes have said some things in the past that have kept them out of big companies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've said
And
some
they're
things.
kind of older, aren't they? Their age.
They are, yeah. So
That'll be around 40.
Yeah.
I remember.
I just think with their tag team division, they'll fit in really nice.
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
the
they would-
Briscoes are great.
the Briscoes would fit in any tag division.
Yeah.
They're great, but
Think of a stereotypical
Yeah.
stereotypical Southern person would say about.
which is crazy because when I
Southern
first seen them,
Delaware.
I
Right,
thought
right.
they were people of color. I thought they were Hispanic.
They
No.
kind of like it's maybe see.
yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know if AEW is going to want to hire a guy that said the hurricanes hit things because people are gay.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that'll do it
Yeah.
every time.
yeah. But they did win the GCW tag titles.
Yeah.
I mean, then they probably had a little heads up because they were in ROH since the beginning. What,
Yeah.
2003?
yeah.
2002? Yeah. So,
I think
The
Gresham
Bucks-
would be another one.
The Bucks had like a feud with them. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
The Briscoes are one of my favorite tag teams.
Yeah.
Ever. I love
Well,
I still have my Briscoe Brothers shirt, but the Confederate flag is the
Yeah.
logo for it.
Oh, boy.
So I don't really wear it.
them. Now the
Yeah.
good thing with GCW too is they have the Skinner music back there.
Yeah.
Give me back my bullets.
A guy who's not signed, who technically was not signed by ROH, but would be a great addition in AEW. Tony Deppen.
Yeah.
I think he'd be
Yeah,
really
he was
fun.
never signed, so I mean,
he was
can-
their TV champion.
Yeah,
though.
but
Yeah.
he was never under contract. So.
Tony just recently put a tweet out about a fan who I guess I don't know the whole story to it, but a fan wanted to he wanted Tony to do something, or he wanted
It was something to do with a school where it was some kind of presentation. Tony Khan was like, what do you need? Yeah.
so pretty much he wanted like if he can get like an autograph or like or someone to send a message to be like, hey,
Yeah, I think the guy was going through some hard times, like
Yeah.
an inner city school teacher or something like that.
yeah, and it's pretty much like this. He's a fan of wrestling. He's going through some hard times, and if a wrestler can do something to make his day
Yeah.
better, he would do it. And Tony Deppen said, "Sure, I'm going to do it."
Tony
but if-
Khan.
well, Tony
Tony
Deppen
Khan,
eventually
yeah.
was Deppen was the first one to post it and said,
Yeah.
"Who else wants to get in on this with me?" And Tony Khan's like, "Give me the guy's address" or something like that. Like,
I said, what can I do to help?
yeah,
I want to say, just jumping back to this, that the Briscoes are around my age, because I remember now when CZW first started running the ECW arena in 2001. PA is just for people who are listening and aren't in Pennsylvania, is what they call a commission state.
Yes.
Mhm.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission oversees wrestling events. And one of the rules is you have to be 18 to wrestle. And so the Briscoes were 17 in CZW. And so around 2000, 2001, when they wrestled in Pennsylvania, they were the Texas Outlaws and they wore masks.
Yeah.
And then Jay turned 18 before Mark did. So it was Jay Briscoe and the Texas Outlaws. And then it was just the Briscoe.
Yeah.
How about it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's his name? Who's the champ? Bandito Jr.'s got booked for PWG in December.
And
Yep.
GCW. He's
Yeah.
doing GCW
Yeah.
things too.
And
So
I'm sure he'll do stuff in Mexico. as
tons
well.
of ROH talent that'd be fun to see. Gresham is another one that I
Oh yeah,
can see.
he's gonna get
Gresham's
signed.
great.
Yeah,
New
Maybe he'll
Japan.
go to Impact.
Yeah, he might go to
His
Impact.
girlfriend's there.
it's gonna be fun to see. Also, their entire content library is supposedly for sale,
Not entire from 2012 till today.
The stuff you
Yes.
don't want.
Yeah,
and
And
you
also
want that good stuff.
and
before
also
2012.
Yeah,
AEW's first
I need
pay-per-view
some
was
Matt
part of
Taven
that
matches.
deal.
Yeah, they don't own their name. It's weird. They own the footage, but not the rights to the name.
Yeah.
So who would be very interested in owning that content? AEW.
Oh, they just say, we don't care.
What if?
They don't need it.
So what if AEW just turned around and said?
I think they'll go after
Yeah.
it.
I think
do.
they'll go after.
Why
it.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Especially if they
you
have
get-
the
I heard
rumored-
they're asking a lot for it though.
Because there was talking some years ago about WWE wanting to buy Ring of Honor
Yeah.
pretty much for the life.
They can drop 2 players off the Jacksonville Jaguars, free up that money. They don't need the players anyway, and then just buy that
I could
content.
drop a few wrestlers too.
What? Yeah, like what the dad does have like $7 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cons aren't.
They have
the
enough
cons
money.
aren't
They have
gonna
enough
be-
money to buy it, but I mean,
But you know,
if you have $10, right? I'm selling candy bars for $5. Don't buy one. Go buy one for $1.
yeah.
You
Here's
know?
the thing.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
only have $10, but I mean, still to put it in perspective,
you know who else has the money to do whatever they want? Sinclair Broadcasting Group, but
They
they
just-
didn't do it.
they just don't care.
They own Ring of Honor. They never put money into it.
Yeah.
They
That-
could have been AEW.
That's why I think they're just like, you know what? Let's just tell them we'll come back. They'll probably forget, and then when it comes around, don't worry about it. We're gonna bring it back.
They
It
do
would be-
apparently have a building book though.
Which I heard, yeah, in Texas or something.
It's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is in Arlington, Dallas.
Okay.
It
So
would
it's-
be
it's
really
WrestleMania weekend
interesting
show.
if maybe Sinclair and ROH or Sinclair and AEW made some connections, made some deals, and maybe we get a cool little invasion angle out of it, and then AEW.
No invasions. No,
Yeah.
I'm done with invasions for the rest of my life. No more.
You just do it or do it
No.
right way.
No, there is no right way.
All I'm saying is I think when
nobody wins.
when
That's just
AEW
blacklisted
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. When AEW starts their streaming service, I'm gonna make my bold prediction now that I think ROH will be part of that
Well,
streaming service.
I do. I think that too.
I can see
makes
that.
sense.
I can
Just
see that.
Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's no one to invade on. They have no wrestlers.
Yeah.
Well, they'll technically be.
Well, you could do like
they have no wrestlers.
Yeah.
if you did it where like Punk and Danielson turn heel.
Oh,
and
God.
it's like all the
Oh, and they bring the ROH crew.
Which is who?
Oh, they can bring.
it's
There's
anybody.
nobody there.
You would have to be like all the old ROH. Well, Cabana, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But
See, it's just
and
getting
there's
worse.
2 guys whose contracts are coming up at the end of the year that are going to be leaving another company that would be cool Team ROH members.
wait, who's it?
Steen
And
and
Generico.
Generico.
oh, I didn't know his deal was coming up.
It should be soon.
He's after Kevin.
He's after
sometime next
Kevin,
year.
but they'd be 2 other guys that you can like, and then you bring a Gresham, you bring a Jay Lethal, you bring.
Yeah, I don't know.
the
if
problem
I'm-
is
yeah,
everybody was there.
that's true. The Bucks were there.
We'll just
Cody was
pretend
there.
that the other ones weren't.
So then AEW Team AEW is Darby and MJF
Yeah,
That
good.
ain't much of a
versus
team.
versus the rest of the federation.
and Jungle Boy.
See, this is why invasions always are awful. Somebody always looks like the idiot then. And you want the whole company look like an idiot?
and then you always know that the winner's going to be the cut. Like ROH isn't going to win the invasion because the company that got bought loses. That's how it works.
Yeah, and yes, Alex, the Briscoes did just win the GCW tag team belts. Yes.
Yes. So I think that the rumor seems to be that they're going to run it like PWG if they do come back,
Mhm.
where it's kind of like just book
like a
whoever they
super
can,
indie, yeah.
and there's nobody under contract. The PWG doesn't contract anybody, so it's kind of like just like, who can we get?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. If they're selling the library and everything, I mean, really, what's there to buy then? Because if you sell the library, right, then ROH is just a couple of rings and the name.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're getting no wrestlers. So
It is a shame because that ROH was a destination for a lot of people, and
Mhm.
not to exist anymore.
the
Would,
past couple of years it wasn't so hot, but when it was good, it was good.
yeah.
And it reshaped wrestling. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
NXT and AEW. NXT, well, I guess it's 1.0 now.
Yeah.
The NXT had for a while. And AEW owe a lot to Ring of Honor.
Absolutely.
Which was really the first American work rate promotion.
If you want to check out the history of ROH, check out our previous episode. It's doing very well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
doing really good. We posted it again, so definitely go check that out if you want to see the history of. And ROH has been that company who somehow, when it should have died, it somehow stayed alive.
Oh, there's a company that's a lot better at
Oh
that.
yeah,
There's a
Impact,
oh,
baby.
yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
company that should have died 10 times over.
The heat death of the universe, Impact Wrestling
Yeah,
will
and
still be around.
Yeah, they're like a cockroach. They just won't die.
But yeah, and then the last news I have, unless anyone has anything, Bray Wyatt Barry Windham or whatever.
Barry Windham.
Not Barry Windham. The Bray Windham.
Rotundo.
Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is. He tweeted out 2 days. He
Yeah,
just said
there's
2
some
days.
idiots. He's coming back to SmackDown. Like, you realize he got fired.
He's gonna come back. What's the one? I
Have
said?
you been fired from your job and
He's
went back and worked?
He's
No.
coming back as a new character.
Yeah, they fired the Fiend
Yeah,
and Bray Wyatt. They didn't fire this new character.
it's not the dumbest thing I've heard on the internet this week.
Oh god, what was the dumbest thing?
The one that you went off on people
Oh.
with. That
Oh.
Triple H is going to
Oh
leave.
yeah, that guy.
So what was this?
Triple H is going to leave NXT. He is going to buy ROH
Okay.
Yeah,
and start his own company.
yeah. He's in
right.
talks with them because they think he'd be a good candidate to lead the company. I'm like,
I'm gonna leave my $1 billion family
Yeah.
to go run ROH.
yeah.
No.
I was like, you made this up. And he's like, no.
I just want clicks on my
Yeah.
profile.
I was like,
go
okay, but,
go
but,
see my
but
website.
it's a personal page. It's not like, you know, the
Just looking
awesome
for
wrestling show.
attention.
Yeah,
And then
and I'm
he-
like, you're making a story up.
He also just made a post before that he hated the main event.
Yeah, it was a joke, but
It was
this
a
post
joke.
is serious.
Yeah. So he wants all wrestling to be super, super serious,
Oh god.
right? But then he's gonna put a clearly fake
That he
clickbait
made
out
up, yeah.
that he made up.
But like, you don't have a website, so like, there's no clicks. Like,
Yeah.
your clicks aren't going. If you had to say, go to this website,
He
to
can't
more.
see through his mask on his
Okay,
profile.
yeah. He's a jerk off. And then he messaged me. So if you ever want to chop it up or something like that, I deleted it. I read it, and I go, this is nonsense. I have no time for this. And I deleted it.
He's a fucking scrub.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're even talking
There's a
about.
guy on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
don't
okay.
say his name.
I don't even know his
I
name.
can plug him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just making up news.
Oh, okay. That's a lot.
Like them British guys. Do you hear Brock Lesnar at AEW?
He's
What's it called? Wrestle Scoops or something like that?
Yeah, Wrestle Talk or
Yeah.
Wrestle.
It's
I
like
do
two
like
British
I
guys.
used to watch 1 or 2 of them on YouTube, and I'm like,
I do like
I
that
don't
Simon
like
guy
this
though.
shit.
Simon.
what culture?
What
Oh,
culture?
okay.
Simon
Yeah.
Miller.
Yeah, the big dude.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Any other news?
Not that I can think of.
Okada brought back that
Oh yeah.
classic belt instead. So when you win
The
the
good
G1,
IWGP
yeah,
title.
he won the G1. Okada. Okada Bushi got hurt when he missed the Phoenix Splash, and he separated shoulder, so he won't be out that long. Anyway, Okada said instead of carrying the briefcase around, I'm gonna bring back the classic title, which everybody wants. So now you technically have 3 champions because Will Ospreay,
He's carrying around a title saying
Yeah.
he never lost.
yeah, he never lost, and then Shingo has his. So it's like I got 3 champions. You got 3 days of Wrestle Kingdom. So.
We got to see Osprey was on Jericho's cruise.
yeah, how about that?
They did a triple spot with Danhausen,
Ever since
Osprey.
Jericho told Ospreay to
Cassidy.
slow down or he's going to break his neck. Apparently, they formed a friendship over that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So when does he show up at AEW?
Osprey.
I can see it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Can you see it? I
Yeah.
know he had some beef in that Me Too
yeah,
crap
but,
too.
yeah. I know
Yeah,
he
but
was.
he's
He was
Ospreay.
like
He's
loosely
like-
connected.
He's
Yeah.
like Matt Riddle just disappeared.
And then I
Yeah.
know Kenny was tweeting him like, I don't know, saying he was a bitch or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can see him.
They're
eventually.
tweeting that to lead to
Yeah.
a match.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
sad news. Hacksaw Jim Duggan announced he has prostate cancer.
Oh,
But-
Aw.
he is getting surgery. So if you're
Yeah.
getting prostate cancer surgery, that means it's,
Might be able to get rid of it.
it's at a stage where
That's-
they can actually
Yeah.
treat it.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's actually a pretty good cancer you can come back from.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's
and
good.
I can say like my grandfather had it for years.
I have a family member right now going through it.
And Duggan's already a cancer survivor. He had it in the 90s.
oh wow.
What's his name? Speaking of canceled people, made an appearance in Puerto Rico. I think we talked about it in a
Oh, yeah,
previous
Marty.
podcast.
Yeah,
Marty.
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 Scroll.
Yep, I did see that.
I looked into that case a little bit more. It's not a good look. Looking at
But
it
it
from an
wasn't
American,
illegal.
for looking at it from an American standard, not a good look.
Yeah.
But he hooked up with a 16-year-old girl
Mhm.
that he met in a bar where you're supposed to be 18 or
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
because the drinking age is 18.
But the consent is 16.
Yeah, so
So I mean, yeah, it's not really like I could be married and cheat my wife. It's not illegal. Doesn't really make me your best guy, but it's
Like,
not illegal.
I knew a dude, like I wasn't friends with him, but I knew a dude who knew a dude type deal,
Yeah.
and he was at a local place in our area that's no longer exists because it used to be at the mall. It used to be a bar.
Okay.
in
Memory lane.
Memory
Memory
Lane. Oh my god.
He hooked up with a chick who you're supposed to be ID'd to get in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hooked up with a girl. They hooked up. He got her pregnant,
Oh boy.
and she
now-
was underage.
Whoa.
And now he's on a list.
Oh, really? That
forever.
sucks.
Well,
That
that
sucks.
bar was no. I have to say, I was there. I was there Friday nights for the under 21 gang or whatever dance, whatever Friday night thing was.
So that's
Mallrats,
I don't
but-
know. There may be more to the Skrull story. I'm not saying. I don't know all
But
the
that
details.
place wasn't ran the best
No.
either. Like
Yeah.
we were drinking up there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, School
Yeah.
County.
I was there
We find a way to
one
drink
time.
everywhere.
Yeah. So what Marty did, like, it might be wrong, but it's not technically illegal.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he makes a return ever?
yes, eventually.
You think so?
Yeah.
I will say this: looks cool with the longer hair.
Yeah, I think he looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I always liked him.
one other thing, a lot of title changes on NXT
Yeah.
Halloween Havoc. You have a new women's tag team champions, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan.
That little crew.
Yeah,
Is
they all
she
have
not Darby's old wife?
yes, Priscilla
Okay.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Gigi
Priscilla
Dolan.
Kelly.
Yeah,
That's what I was
the one with the
thinking, but
orange
she's
hair.
not-
Now she kind of looks like a young Becky.
Yeah, she used to look like she used to look like a young Paige. Now
Yeah.
she looks like a young Becky.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually stories about something else too. I have in news.
Mandy Rose won the women's title.
Mhm.
Her hair just looks terrible. It looks
The
fake.
black. Yeah.
Yeah.
His first tough enough person to win the title.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good for her.
And then we had Imperium won the tag titles as well.
I don't like them. I find them boring. And they're good wrestlers, but they just have
I like
Boy,
Balter.
remember
plain
when-
looks.
Remember when NXT had really good tag teams?
Remember when NXT was good?
Yeah.
I remember.
They ain't never coming back like ROH.
So WWE canceled a whole bunch of appearances for Charlotte Flair.
Oh, I did not
Oh,
know this.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh,
either.
that's also something. There was a little bit of she called an audible during the finish of a match, or during the finish of the SmackDown, where
the
She-
belt
the title
exchange.
exchange.
yeah, she was supposed to hand Becky the belt, but she dropped it on the ground. Becky didn't
Pick it
take
up.
kindly.
Pick it up.
Becky threw the title at Charlotte,
Which
or
was
the Raw-
great.
or the SmackDown title.
So
at
if
Charlotte.
that wasn't planned, that should have been. And this was all edited out of the replay, apparently.
And then Becky had a dark match because I guess they had words backstage. She didn't get physical, but they had some.
And Charlotte
intense
was
words.
escorted out of the building.
And while Becky was out wrestling, Charlotte was escorted
they
out of
told
the
her to
building,
leave.
got on a plane to Dynamite.
Yeah, how about that? Because Andrade was there. But like a lot of people are saying they don't like Charlotte. She's hard to work with. But then before, the rumors were she wanted to drop the title to Bianca.
She wanted to,
How
lose.
hard-
She wanted to lose clean to Bianca, but not for the title.
Yeah. Oh, really? Was that what it was? But still, that's pretty.
Well, do you remember even further back when Andrade just got released?
Yeah.
There was rumors that people were body shaming her in the locker room
Yeah.
and they were bullying her and she was going through all this shit and she's like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
Like she legit hated the locker room experience. And now the rumor is that the entire girls' locker room is seeing Becky as the hero and everyone hates
Yeah,
Charlotte.
I
Yeah.
heard that too. That everybody has like this disdain for Charlotte now.
Yeah, and they're everyone's saying that she's hard to work with. But if Charlotte's story is true, where they're all bullying her and she's kind of getting shit on because she's a Flair. And listen, here's the thing: I've been in wrestling locker rooms. This younger generation and this generation now, it's like the woke generation. So I'm guaranteeing the whole thing with her dad that came out
Well-
isn't helping her.
Well, think about it. Yeah, the whole thing with her dad being a Flair, and then having your fiance go to the opposing, the rival company. She's got a lot stacked up against her.
And I don't give a shit if her name is Flair. I don't give a shit if she never even had, like, if that's not her dad at all. At the end of the day, she's the fucking best female wrestler, one of the best
God,
person
yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah, which a lot of them are jealous.
Yes. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, she's getting everything handed to her because she's Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
No, she's
No,
fucking
she's-
good.
Well, yeah, but they tried that with David Flair, and look what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
Because
like,
he couldn't wrestle.
she's fucking good.
Yeah.
She's she's
well,
top three
she-
best in the world.
I think we learned something with that though. If you are an all-time great wrestler and you want your child to follow you into the business,
Yeah, make
do
sure it's your
not
daughter.
make sure you don't name them David.
Yeah, David San Martino, not good. David,
David Hogan.
David. No, what was Putski? Wasn't his name
Scott Putski.
Scott Putski. Yeah,
He was a little better than David Flair.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think the writing is on the wall. You're going to see
Yeah,
Charlotte.
she's out of there.
Do you think Charlotte's like the Lex Luger? So I mean,
Oh, did you see that meme of her dropping the title in the garbage
Yeah.
can with like Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur? That was pretty good.
what WWE should do now is just probably just cut ties, and because what they
Either they can either do that, they can job her out, or they can ice her, which means just take her off TV and pay her till her contract's up.
I bet
they
that's
have
what
to
they'll do.
because if they
Is that-
if they turn around and make her 16-time champion and
Yeah.
then let her go, they're idiots.
Yeah.
She also has that TV show coming, or it's a movie that can become a TV show. They're doing a Walking Tall version.
Yeah, Walking
thing with
Tall.
her.
Yeah, with
Oh.
Charlotte.
Like
Yeah,
the Rock movie. What was the movie before that? Too,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Buford Pusser. What a name.
He wrestled a little bit.
Oh yeah, he did.
The actual guy that the movie's based on wrestled a little bit.
So that's some interesting news.
She's out of there now. Does she Ashley Flair? Or is she gonna be Scarlet Flair? Just because why not? The hell with it. I don't know if she's gonna have a name or not.
What's her real name?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley Flair.
Yeah. I mean, you could be like Scarlet Flair.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly the same.
And
all I
The hell
know
with Scarlet was
is
her
if
name.
she
we could be like,
shows up,
this Scarlet's actually on TV.
Yeah.
if she shows up at AEW, she has to do the gimmick we've been pitching forever.
No, where all the dudes want to bang her. And
Yeah.
that'd be so good. Why not?
She needs
do
to
it.
fully lean into her dad. Like,
I
Oh,
know.
I would be all for that
Yeah.
myself.
she's
I
like,
would.
look at these guys. I'll bang any guy, even the
Yeah.
fat ones, and make them cry.
You fat boy. I'll be in room 217.
I would
Then
love.
throw the keys. Like, that was a fake keys.
I'd love it.
That's women's empowerment.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
if a guy can do it. Why can't a girl?
Well, that's always been the double standard though among women. Like
Yeah.
you were always looked
she
at
should
if
lean
you
into it.
had like multiple boyfriends or something, you were looked at as the slut. You
Yeah.
know? And like even I still think it has that stigma now.
It
Like,
does.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then
That's
but
terrible.
Ric Flair can have 6 girlfriends in each town.
he
Yeah.
can,
Right.
So like,
he can corner.
Yeah.
He can corner a stewardess in an airplane.
yeah.
You know, I think that would be a fun angle for Charlotte. You know,
Yeah.
there's two things in wrestling: women can't be promiscuous, and gay people are always heels. And
Yeah,
they-
but not so. I mean, that get a little. They're
That's
getting away
going
from
away
that.
now.
Yeah.
yeah,
either gay
but I'm just
people
saying
are always heels or they're always made like to be the goofball.
Over
or, like,
the top.
they can never be
Yeah,
a
over the top,
serious
that's what I'm trying to get
champion.
at.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just silly, which I think that stigma should get broken too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least that one's kind of being broke.
Like Jake Atlas, it was never really part of his gimmick. Like he was just a gay guy that happened to be a good wrestler who was also gay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's I think there was one more thing I was going to bring up there, and AEW gave me another thing I didn't think I wanted until I seen it. So fucking Cody, man, he has a way of making me just not give a shit about a program
Mhm.
he's in, and then fucking cuts a promo, and I'm like,
Oh, that promo was
you
great.
fucking scumbag. Now I like
The
you.
only thing I
again.
didn't like is he's like, I will not turn. So like,
Oh, he's gonna turn. So
He's gonna
what-
turn.
but
Yeah,
what-
that was my thing.
But
too.
what's that saying? We now brought into existence in the world of wrestling that heels and faces are a thing. Like, not this is what you are.
he's breaking the fourth
It's
wall.
a thing in
Yeah.
wrestling. So
Yeah.
then why wouldn't you also say, and I will not job, and I'm going to win the title? Because if it's
He's
all,
going to. That's the.
but if you're taking
Yeah.
all these things into wrestling, it kind of doesn't work then. Because
People-
I
that's
will
why-
not turn heel. Like that's
Yeah.
not
people love when you
turn
break that
heel.
fourth wall.
Yeah, but when you turn heel in wrestling, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You just become a bad guy.
Mhm.
You don't use the insider terms. Like that would be like you come out and say, last week I put him over.
Mhm.
Like you don't say that.
That's
So-
what I don't even like that AEW has the baby face tunnel and the heel tunnel. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So essentially, what we got here is him and Pac are going to team up against Andrade and Black.
Black.
Yeah.
That's fucking fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a very
Oh,
good
yeah.
match.
Yeah,
That'll
I
be a
mean,
Pac
very
is
good
always
match.
good to
So
watch.
we've always
Other than that, the promo was good, but Cody was still get boost.
so we've been talking about the four horsemen and who could be the new four horsemen of AEW and
Yeah.
the four. I mean, you add a fourth member to Cody. If Cody turns and
Mhm.
it's him, Andrade, and Black with a possible fourth guy,
I
I
would
can't
not put Black in the
no,
stable.
yeah, you don't- no.
That is a lone
And
wolf.
He's-
especially not a
he is
four
best
horseman.
alone.
Unless he's leading the Dark Order, so with that you make the Dark Order more serious. Which
but what if Black uses his abilities to turn Cody dark,
But then they don't make four horsemen. Four
Yeah.
horsemen is all
No.
about spending money.
and then you make Pac a super baby face? I'm into that too.
yeah,
Dude, when
no,
he did
he's
the,
always
when
been
he did
back
the
to
sit
heel.
down and flip
Yeah.
off, I was
Yeah.
like, that was dope. I liked it. It was a good segment.
not everybody, yeah, but not
See,
everybody's
I
the
don't
four
want him to
horsemen.
be super
Yeah.
baby face like Cody. I like him a little crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Heidi's terrified of him. She said he's the weirdest
Really?
looking human
Well,
of all
huh?
time.
Well, he kind of.
She said he looks like Golem a little
No,
bit.
she should see a picture when he was not jacked.
Yeah.
He's jacked
He
now.
got
Oh
even
my God.
bigger.
Yeah, he's
He looks good.
really cut. I don't think he should shave the sides of his head though,
Yeah.
because of
That's where he gets the
because of
Golem.
his
look.
ears. That's
Yeah.
what, if he
it's
would
his
grow
ears
that
and
in.
He has like thinning hair,
Yeah.
so you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need some Rogaine or something. I don't know.
All right.
I like Pac.
What
I
time
do
are we at here? 54. I'm going to write this down.
So who's
so we-
winning the? Do you think Ruby's winning the TNT title?
The TBS?
Yeah, sorry.
TBS, yeah.
I don't know who's in that tournament anymore. I haven't-
Cargill's still in it, right? Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, she got. There's people that got buys. It was
Nyla, I
Jay
think.
Cargill, Nyla,
Chris
Thunder
Statlander
Rosa,
got
and
a
Chris
bye.
Stanlander. So it's Chris Stanlander versus Ruby.
Statlander's
then
losing, unfortunately.
Nyla versus Hikaru Shida, and then Jade Cargill versus like the Bunny or Penelope. So Jade Cargill wins that one, and then Thunder Rosa versus
It's gonna come down to Thunder and
Forget.
Ruby.
That's what I think. Too.
Yeah.
I think Ruby wins it. Maybe
Yeah,
Thunder.
I think
Flip
Ruby
a coin.
wins it,
I think
too.
Ruby wins it just because I think Thunder Rose is going to wind up being the women's champion.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Which
the
I
one-two
think
split.
Statlander would be an awesome TBS champion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at some point, yeah.
Yeah, she'll get there.
I'm just really high on Statlander.
No, she's a lot of fun. I like
Dude, AEW keeps sneaking more action figures out that I didn't know existed. I'm like, fucking scumbags. Like now Miro has one I want. Like,
Yeah, it's
Well, the
good luck getting it.
wholesaler over in Coltmont just got like a whole case or something of them. I
Really?
don't know how if they're the first or second like line of them or whatever.
did you get your bloody face, Brit? Yeah.
Not yet. It's pre-ordered. I heard it's not coming out till January though.
Oh, is that
The-
a Britt Baker one?
Yeah,
The one I will definitely pre-order is the Brody Lee one.
I think. Yeah, I don't know if he's up yet.
It's
Might
the
be.
pre-orders aren't up yet,
Yeah.
but I will definitely 100%.
Big Bad Toy Store and
Ringside Collectibles.
yeah, yes.
I definitely get that one. I only own one. I only own Orange Cassidy. It's the only one I own. I seen a really cool post too. I don't know if it was a friend of mine on Facebook, but he made a post. He said a lot of people hate gimmicky stuff, and a lot of people don't like wrestling, and a lot of people. But we always forget too that like as an adult liking wrestling, this is also for all ages. This is for
Yeah.
kids, and a lot of this time when you're like, well, that's corny and for kids, you have to realize like
well, some is for kids and some isn't. So
So what essentially what his post was is like I never got to meet the person who got me into professional wrestling. I never had that experience. I never met Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew who said this post because it was said really well. He goes, but my son got to do that. My son got to meet his Andre, and it was Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it was a picture of Orange Cassidy leaning on his head, doing his thumbs up, and like that kid's gonna have that moment forever. And that's like one of those cool like fucking pro wrestling is awesome stories.
That happens all the time.
Yeah. Oh, there is one more piece of news before we jump in. I'm sorry. I believe I don't know if the Kickstarter is still up.
Oh,
But, Ace Austin. Unfortunately, I don't know the whole story, but him and his girlfriend Gia.
it was a GoFundMe. I believe they reached all of it.
Yes.
yeah, they hit their
Surpassed
goal in
it.
like
Yeah,
2
because
hours.
Jericho donated and Scott Demore who
Mhm.
runs Impact.
So they were.
And they got pro wrestling guy Ryan.
Yeah.
His name.
There was a really high probability that they might not have made it out of that fire. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it
They
was-
were in the house when it happened and woke up and somehow got out. There's a possibility, like in another universe, there's a possibility we don't have Ace Austin and Gia on this. Like they count your blessings, like be thankful, like they made it out, and unfortunately they were in a situation where now they're watching their house burn down and they didn't get their cat out.
Aw.
Then after the fire was all said, and I mean it was so bad.
the
that
cat
you could-
made it.
Yeah,
Oh, it did.
Yes.
Oh,
you
good.
could see through the.
Yeah,
You
I was
could
gonna say
literally.
you gotta say it.
You could. I was gonna get there. I was building up anticipation. You could
Yeah,
see.
it's already
Through,
getting like super
you
sad.
could literally see through like their house. It was completely gone. The apartment building was gone,
Oh.
and then somehow a piece of ceiling fell on like where their bed was or under their bed and made a pocket, and the cat stayed there.
Oh, good.
And the fire department went in and found their cat. So not only did they get out okay, but their cat made it.
came out.
The GoFundMe made it.
Yeah, they were asking for $5,000, and I believe it's over.
Which
now.
is really not a lot to ask for.
No, that ain't
They-
a lot for fire damage, like anything like that,
No.
especially if you lose your whole house.
That's not even relocation and getting
No.
all your property back.
Yeah.
They raised $31,649, and I know they had put out that anything they got over what they needed, they were going to share with other people in their building that
Yeah,
also
apartment building.
lost
Aw,
everything.
That's a really good
They are
story.
100%. I don't like. I mean, I talked to Ace. I would say I got closer to Gia than I did Ace, just working at Sanctuary and meeting them. I reached out. I was like, "Hey, listen, I hope you're good." And she wrote back like, "Thank you so much. If you are a fan of the Sanctuary, that is a place to go because Ace and Gia are always there.
Yeah.
That's their home.
Well,
He is-
not always.
he is.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
they're there frequently. Ace
Yeah,
is the
frequently.
champion.
Ace is the champion of Sanctuary. Just really good people. I'm happy that they're still here. If the GoFundMe is taken down or anything you can do.
Oh no, I think you can still donate it. My mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, they asked for 5,000. Scott Demore alone donated 5,000.
Yeah. Check out Pro Wrestling Tees. Gia has one. Ace has one. Just support them. They're good people. Unfortunately, someone who has lost their house in a fire, it fucking sucks. It really does. When you lose, we talked about in Not Cool in high school, like, oh, favorite toys growing up.
Mhm.
I lost my entire childhood.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do. And for someone who literally, I mean, if you ever listen to his interview on Chris Van Fleet, he still works at Hot Topic. Like he was 2-time X
Well,
Division
that's
champion.
because Impact doesn't pay that. Great.
Exactly. So a lot of
There-
people
there
think
was
you got
a-
that Impact contract and you're killing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and you're not really. no.
Yeah.
There was a famous story when they were still on Spike TV. This was when TNA was probably at its peak around like 2008, 2009, getting 1 million viewers a week on Spike TV. Their women's champion was Taylor Wilde. I think she just came back. and she was working at Sunglass Hut while she was the women's champion.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they don't pay that.
They're
great.
they're just good people. If you can, go support them. They're like I
Yeah,
said.
totally.
If you can't, just keep them in your thoughts. They're good people. That's all I got. I'm sorry, I keep adding stuff in there. I'm officially gonna turn it over now. We are at the hour mark, and we're gonna get into our topic. So I want to put that down. So I can
Wait,
put that.
this is kind of a wide range. I think it's open to everybody. The spooky, scary wrestlers, and I mean, there's obvious ones like the Undertaker.
I
Kane.
think I always said I
Yeah.
think that the two we exclude here is Undertaker and Kane. Because
Yeah.
when you say who are your favorite spooky
Yeah, you can
characters,
still say them, you know.
I just feel like there's
I mean, there's somebody out there that likes Papa Shango more than Kane, I'm sure.
Yeah,
they would be crazy. But if Papa Shango was cool,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
put a curse on you.
but yeah, there's
gonna-
somebody out there,
I will puke mustard.
you know. It wasn't mustard; it was black ooze.
No. He puked that time, and then later on, he was doing the promo. And the
Oh,
black
that's
ooze
right.
comes
That's
down.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. For some reason, Ultimate Warrior is always showing off his physique. Is wearing a jacket now.
Yeah.
He's wearing a white WWF jacket,
It's a clear giveaway. You come out in all white.
Something's getting on it.
Yeah.
and he's wearing a jacket with like a long sleeve jacket because obviously whatever gimmick is going to make the black stuff run down his head is in the arm.
Yeah.
And so,
Mustard.
and then Gene Okerlund did the same thing. It was like it came out of his arm, like his wrist, like
Yeah.
just black.
What the? How? I was scared. I was like 10 years old.
Well, it got scary when he would light people's feet on fire.
Yeah.
And their hands would catch on fire.
And I didn't realize, like as a kid,
Mhm.
I thought Papa Shango was around a lot longer than he was.
No,
Yeah.
Not a long
I
run.
don't even know if it was a year.
barely
Yeah.
a year. Yeah.
But it's so cool looking. But I guess it was too far ahead of its time with the voodoo and stuff.
He was in Monte City.
Really?
At the Monte City High School gym. And I
Was it
As
remember
Papa
Papa
Shango?
Shango?
as Papa Shango,
wow,
full
that's cool.
gear, and he fucking ruined kids.
So I was gonna say he was at Legends of Hamburg too, but
Yeah.
not as Papa Shango.
Yeah, he was. He was cool as fuck.
He's also in, what is it, WrestleMania, Super WrestleMania arcade game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Or not the arcade, Super WrestleMania.
Yeah, the SNES.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's such a
And
good.
Sega Genesis.
He's a good human. He's fun to talk to. Really fun to talk
I
to.
really get a chance to talk.
No,
to him.
not Papa Shango.
Oh,
He'll
bite
kill
you. He'll
Bury,
bite-
bury you down in the New Orleans.
Yeah, he'll bite you. He'll bite your head.
Godfather's a good person to talk to.
Godfather.
Yeah.
But
All those hoes.
yeah, around that time they had Global Wrestling, which was out of Texas, and you had Rasta the Voodoo Man there.
Yeah. The roster.
Do you remember on the WWE No Mercy game when a hoe was $1 million to unlock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you ever play the video? Are you a video game player?
I was back in the day, but
Yeah.
not anymore.
So No Mercy on N64 to unlock the hoe.
Yeah, I didn't
character.
have it in N64. I had
It was
PlayStation.
$1 million.
Yeah.
It was cheaper to unlock Andre the Giant.
Yeah. The Rock's $500 shirt was like $4,000. Like, wait, it's a $500 shirt.
And the
What?
hoe was $1 million.
Dollars.
In the
And she sucked.
in the SmackDown
No pun
Mall.
intended.
The SmackDown Mall.
Yeah.
Such a great game.
Andy,
Yeah.
let's start with. I'm gonna start with you.
I don't
here.
have a favorite.
Who was the first supernatural spooky character you've seen as a wrestling fan?
Undertaker probably in 91. Because I didn't see no WCW. I didn't see nothing that Kevin Sullivan did in Florida or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so it had to be Undertaker. Because who was in WWE was before that? Nobody, right?
Yeah, I would say for
Well,
me, honestly,
maybe-
Undertaker.
Maybe Demolition if you count that.
Yeah.
They count.
I was thinking Great Muda because of the
Yeah,
mist,
yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But other than that, like, not really LOD. They weren't. No, because Undertaker was before them in
I
WWE.
don't know if he's considered supernatural or spooky, but I would say the first person for me that really stood out besides Undertaker and Kane was Goldust.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't supernatural, but he was just different from
He
everybody
was
else.
very different. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he was very polarizing.
Because
too.
he also had that like voyeur creep cam. Like,
Oh, well, they never said it was him. That
Yeah,
was
GTV. That was
Yeah.
later on. Yeah.
but I mean, everyone kind of knew.
Well, when it first started, it was GDTV and was going to be him.
Yeah.
And then he left. He went to WCW. So they just were like, okay.
Just make a GTV and just have like people doing weird things.
The
on it.
rumors that were going to have Tom Green be the guy behind it because Tom Green was big back then. And then just Thrasher was the only one that ever was able to summon it. So maybe Thrasher was behind GTV.
Well,
and he was
Millie.
going to be like a new Doink. He was going to
Yeah.
be DTK.
Yeah. Well, Doink is Doink supernatural?
No.
No,
He had a whole bunch of mini Doinks come out of the ring now.
Well,
that
you
was
know,
just he had some guy dress
having
up. like
having
him.
little people doesn't mean
Yeah.
powers.
Unless you're Oz.
Yeah, that's your yeah. Oz is supernatural.
There you go.
He's like
I want
monkey.
to. Millie put in our chat when we put who's your favorite. She did say like she went back and watched Undertaker and during the Attitude Era, the Ministry of Darkness
Okay,
stable.
Yeah. So
when it was
Midian was her favorite.
Midian and Viscera
Viscera.
and who else? There was somebody else in there, right?
There were a million people in that stable. They were like the two main.
And
like,
the
headliners.
corporate ministry.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh yeah.
I
that
was there the
terrible.
night that they hanged the Big Boss Man. They did Big Boss
Yeah.
and Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 15, and this was right before. This was like a month or two before Owen Hart died. Edge and Christian came down from the rafters.
Oh my God, the Brood.
They had the
Yes.
Brood Gangrel. They came down from the rafters and hung threw the rope down the Undertaker. Yeah, they hanged the Boss Man.
I remember seeing the Brood for the first time, and I was like, I'm fucking into this.
Yeah, I was very into the Brood too.
They're all vampires.
Yeah. Did you see the footage on is it Oprah or Sally Jones?
Sally Jesse.
Sally Jones.
It's an
It's
old.
like Sally, Jesse Raphael, and Jenny Jones had their
Yeah.
own like a
I don't know what her name is. The lady
I
with the
love
glasses.
90s talk
Sally
Lake,
Jesse.
maybe?
Not Ricky Lake.
Sally Jesse
Yeah.
Raphael.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Bang.
I know my 90s talk shows quite well.
Where she has Bret Hart on.
Mhm.
I don't know. It might not even be a female. I don't.
It wasn't Sally Jesse. This was a Canadian talk show. I think
Was
where
it?
they talk- where
And
Edge is
in the crowd, Edge is in the crowd. He's
No.
asking
Oh,
Bret
that's
Hart
cool.
for advice on how to become a wrestler.
Oh,
And he's like,
wow.
I work for this company. You should come hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a cool little thing. But anyway,
The cool thing is if you look at WrestleMania 6, Hogan against Warrior, Edge is in the crowd.
really.
In his Hulk Hogan t-shirt.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like Aubrey crying during Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan's thing. Dude, AEW Unrestricted is such a fucking good podcast. So good.
Speaking of spooky guys, Mankind. Because
Mankind.
that made me think of Mick Foley being in the crowd for the Morocco Snooker
Mhm.
cage match.
I loved Mankind. He was so good.
Yeah,
And then he turned comedy.
yeah, but when he
Yeah.
first came in, he was like,
Yeah, he was quite serious and like
Yeah.
psycho slash.
He would legit
manic,
pull his
whatever.
hair out of his head.
And Paul
Yeah.
Bearer managed him and Goldust at
Paul-
the one time.
Yeah, Paul
him in
Bearer was
pain?
like the more spooky thing for me as a kid. Like I didn't care. Like Undertaker didn't phase me.
Well,
But Paul Bearer, yeah, that voice would go through me.
Oh, Undertaker.
Yeah.
I remember being at the not being at, but getting a pay per view at my buddy's house, and I just remember his mom was like super strict, like when it gets too late, you got to go home, and because we have school in the morning. I'm like, you are not gonna make me go home at this fucking pay per view. Like I will handcuff myself to your couch. And that was the casket match, so the whole roster came out and beat up Undertaker.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody knew the camera inside the casket,
Mhm.
and my friend was fucking terrified of it. Like, dude, he couldn't watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? He used to make me turn it off. Like, I hate you. 'Cause I love
then-
spooky stuff.
And then Undertaker rose to the heavens.
And
Yeah.
then when he opened his eyes in the casket,
Mhm.
my friend fucking lost it. And his mom's like, "We gotta turn this off.
you
He's gonna
met
have nightmares."
you met the Undertaker that rose to the heavens.
Heath Slater?
No,
No.
this is in 1993. I
Oh
doubt
fuck,
it
not
was
Heath Slater.
before.
Fucking
1994.
Is this when they had the double Undertaker?
We got a picture with him.
Marty?
Yeah, that was Marty.
That was Marty.
Yeah, that's why I was doing the rock music.
Yeah, because obviously Undertaker is still in the casket. Or no, because they opened it up and it's empty. So he rolled under the ring. There was a trap door in
Yeah.
there, and he rolled under the ring. So somebody had to be raised up. So it was Marty Jannetty and the Undertaker's like entrance gear.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, Heath Slater was fake Sting, right?
What?
Didn't
What?
Heath Slater do fake Sting? Someone did fake Sting one time, where it was supposed to be Sting somewhere, and he was in two spots at once.
I don't know.
I
When he
mean-
was feuding with Seth Rollins.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
mean,
You could be right.
There
I don't
have
know.
been a million fake Stings.
Yeah,
And Jeff Farmer.
Sting, another supernatural character at one point in
no,
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean more so now, like when
Yeah.
like, from TNA on.
The original fake Sting was at a Halloween Havoc. It was Barry Windham. It was when
Yeah.
Sting was the champion. He'd just beaten Flair for
The
the title.
California Sting.
Surfer Sting, they would call me a California Sting, blonde Sting. So they had Sting and against Sid. Sid was in the Horsemen. So they fight to the back, and then Sid comes out with Sting, but it's Sting who is now much larger and heavier than he was 2 minutes ago. And Sid rolls Sting into the ring and pins him, and it's like, oh, Sid's a new champion. And then they're like, Sting runs back out, and he has like rope or tape around his wrist or something, and it was Barry Windham as Sting.
We met him too, didn't we? Not Barry Windham. I'm thinking Barry Horowitz. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my!
Big difference. Big
Oh
difference.
my!
I may be.
One was NWA World Champion. The other one was
Don't do drugs. kids.
Barrowitz.
Barry Horowitz, or yeah, I was gonna be doing it. Barry Windham is Bray Wyatt's uncle.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like during the like most of our childhood, like during the Attitude Era, the only thing we really had in WWE supernatural wise was for the most part Mankind and the corporate ministry or the ministry,
Yeah,
the
Don't
Undertaker.
say corporate ministry.
The Undertaker.
yeah.
WCW
Kane.
really leaned into it with a lot of different people.
But by Attitude Era, they're all gone though.
Yeah.
Because Canyon
diminished.
Mortis was now Canyon,
Mhm.
and then Dungeon Doom was all. And Kevin Sullivan was kind of there.
Well,
but he
you
wasn't
also had
evil anymore.
Vampiro.
Yeah, Vampiro was there. That
Vampiro was one of
true.
my
Yeah.
favorites from WCW.
Sting, and then like they'd have guest appearances where it was like
The
Chucky
Misfits.
show
But
up.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're not wrestling.
Or fucking like Chucky would show up, or they would do the
Well, they had the Demon Dale Torberg where he was Kiss.
He's back.
Yeah,
He's
he's
an
at
Impact.
TNA. Yeah,
yeah. What else did WCW do that was like
So
supernatural?
the Dungeon of Doom was the big one, and
yeah, that was
that's
the huge one.
when we brought up this topic. The thing I was thinking of, Kevin Sullivan in Florida, and this is how wrestling, what works in Florida in 1982 does not always work
Yeah.
in nationwide wrestling in 1995, and the Dungeon of Doom was perfect for that. Kevin Sullivan was just this like a regular wrestler. He was a short guy, stocky, was a power lifter
The Boston accent.
with a very thick Boston accent, and he was just a wrestler. He wrestled in Florida, he wrestled in the WWF. But when he comes down to Florida in the early 80s, he starts getting a little weird. Like he's got like painting X's on his head, and
he found his savior.
yeah. Well, they never explicitly said Satan.
Yeah,
They heavily implied Satan.
We all know.
He would talk about occult stuff. He would have like shirts that said
Yeah.
666 on it.
Well, it wasn't Woman his valet or
Yeah.
manager.
Yeah, Fallen Angel back then. Yeah.
Also had another great person in his stable.
He had a few people in the state.
Yeah.
Another great woman in his stable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Luna.
Luna
And
yeah.
Winona Littleheart, who is not
Yeah.
as much remembered. But so yeah, he had this whole thing where he was going he would do a lot of like Eastern stuff because I think he was legit kind of into Satan for real.
because a lot of people said that Kevin Sullivan the devil, and they still call him that.
Yeah,
That's
but-
why a lot of people think, oh, Kevin Sullivan killed Chris Benoit
Oh, 100% did.
because he's the devil.
He didn't.
And it's like, oh, what is that? You can't base off his wrestling gimmick. But okay,
Chris
so-
Benoit had too much CTE problems, is what that was.
They did this thing, and I forget the guy. I forget what they called him, but somebody put a bounty out on. I think it was Barry Windham. Like they called him the Bone something, the Bone Breaker, the Bone Master, or something like that. This is a bad name for something.
Yeah.
But basically, this guy was like, "I'll give you $1,000 for every bone you break in Barry Windham's body," and it turns out to be Kevin Sullivan, who was his own tag partner. And that was Kevin Sullivan turning heel, and he corrupts Jake Roberts, and that's where you start getting Jake the Snake Roberts. And that starts Jake down that dark path because he was never supernatural, but he was always like that creepy,
yeah, evil.
having Randy Savage get bit by a cobra. And
Bawled my eyes out. Bald.
he
That fucked
you
me
know,
up as
you know
a
the
kid.
story behind
Yeah.
that, right? I love Jake's story behind that.
On Joe Rogan, where he told the story where Jake or Macho Man made him bite, like the snake had to
Yeah.
bite him before
Yeah.
he went out, and then the snake killed itself, like it
Yeah.
committed suicide.
He's like,
I heard that it's just too much traumatic problem.
but he
because
also
of
said
the-
he paintbrushed the hell out of him. Like
Yeah.
he was so mad that Savage had a snake bite him, he smacked the snake around so the snake would be angry. when
And
it bit
and a
Savage.
snake doesn't like an animal doesn't resort to violence unless it absolutely has to.
Right.
Like if it has to do for survival.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened.
And the snake was just like, fuck it, and just fucking.
Well, that's what happened at Halloween Havoc 92 when they did the spin the wheel, make the deal with Jake and Sting. Because at the end, the idea is like Jake takes out the snake, but the snake turns on him and bites Jake, but it wouldn't bite Jake. So Jake is just holding the snake like up to his neck, like it's biting me
Yeah, that's
because it wouldn't bite.
Great
But there-
gimmick. Don't want to see it in today's time.
There
No.
was all different kind of stories with Jake taking that into strip clubs and like letting strippers hold it
Mhm.
and everything. I've heard a lot of
And the
that.
funny thing is that snake, like he even said like 60% of those snakes he owned all died.
Yeah.
Though-
Well, he kept it in the back of his trunk. too.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Animals,
hello.
animals back then that Matilda didn't get treated well.
yeah.
Frankie,
it was rough
Frankie,
life.
Frankie may have been treated well because Coco seemed to actually like Frankie.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot of those animals did not get treated well.
I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get treated right, but when Cody brought his dog out and the fireworks went
Oh.
off and the dog shit its pants,
Those
Yeah.
camels at
Yeah.
Crown Jewel that were right by the
Oh.
pyro.
horrible.
But yeah,
I'm
to
sure
keep-
those people don't care though.
Keep animals away from the stage.
but Kevin Sullivan, then the big star in Florida at this time was Dusty Rhodes. And so Kevin Sullivan gets in this feud with Dusty Rhodes, where it culminates in a match on Christmas night. I think it was 1982. And it's a cage match, Sullivan and Dusty. And the loser has to leave Florida for 60 days. And Santa Claus, there are a bunch of people dressed as Santa Claus in the crowd. And one of the Santa Clauses comes to the cage and gives Kevin Sullivan a foreign object, and he beats Dusty over the head with it and pins him. And then the guy Santa takes off his beard and everything, and it's Jake Roberts.
Oh,
So now Dusty's got to leave for 60 days, But like a week or two later, somebody shows up.
The Midnight Rider.
The
baby.
Midnight Rider.
Well,
Midnight Rider's here, baby.
we are kind of getting a what is it on AEW Dark?
Fuego Jr.
Yeah, Fuego Jr.
Yeah, which is and the Midnight Rider, like that gimmick's been around for a while. Sometimes it was called like Uvalde Slim. Jack Briscoe did it, and it was called Uvalde Slim. Dusty Rhodes was Uvalde Slim once. JYD did it. He was Stagger Lee. But yeah, it's like you have your big superstar, and then they have to leave. They are fired, suspended, whatever happens, and they have to go away for a while. And then somebody, Mr. America,
Yeah,
and they
Mr.
come
America.
back under.
They almost did with John Cena with Juan Cena. He made one appearance. Like, why don't you use this?
I love when they
A+.
fucking do that. I don't know. I eat that. I love.
I'm not Mr. America, brother.
I love stupid, corny gimmicks. I eat that.
How great would it be if something like Leapfrog, if like one of their masked people, like, oh, Boomer Hatfield is banned, and Shane McCoy now has a partner. It's just Boomer Hatfield without them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, it's the
who are
reverse.
you?
It's the reverse way.
Yeah.
Do not hold it against Leapfrog. It'll probably happen.
Reverse Midnight Rider.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Or just like put Abs in a mask.
Yeah.
Like Abs can no longer wrestle at Leapfrog because a very good professional or Avery Good banned him or something
Yeah.
like that.
And
as
now
champion.
Pex is here, and it's just Abs in a mask.
Yeah. And he covers up like his
Yeah.
abs with a longer t-shirt. You can have that, Alex, if you want it.
So Kevin Sullivan winds up doing something where he also gets banned from Florida wrestling. And so he comes back under a mask as Lucifer. So
There you go.
what you wind up having, it's like, well, the whole thing with this gimmick is always, well, if they get caught, they're banned forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, the whole idea behind this gimmick is the heel is always trying to unmask the Midnight Rider.
I know
Mr.
it's you, so and so.
And if I can unmask you, you're gone forever. So they do Lucifer against a Midnight Rider, mask versus mask. So somebody's getting unmasked, and it's going to be like, well, okay, they got to go now. And Kevin Sullivan loses, but there's some kind of chicanery, and he comes back. And that's when he started doing the Army of Darkness. The main guy was always Purple Haze, who was Mark Lewin. Billy Graham was with them. They had a bunch of people.
The Luna angle was kind of cool where she was
Yeah.
a news anchor.
She was a news anchor. They
And shaved half her head.
Yeah, they used her real name, Trudy Hurd. And yeah, they said she basically fell under his spell. They shaved half her head. Yeah, and she
So
kept it like
fucking,
that
and it
forever.
was probably
You
like
can have promos where they go out at the beach at night and try and summon
Yeah,
things. And
so
Yeah, Mark
cool.
Lewin came out of the when he was Purple Haze, he like came out of the water. They had somebody, I forget the name they used, him was some song lyric, but it was Mighty Igor, and he was only there for like a little bit. And they had him like come out of the ground like he was rising from the dead. And
I don't know why that made me think of it. Do you remember in TNA, Nikki Roxx when she was something Laveau, the voodoo
Roxy
priestess?
Laveau,
Roxy Laveau, the voodoo priestess.
yeah, they had to shave her head because she had allergic reaction to the dye.
Yeah. Wow.
So they did a match where like the loser of the match, like it was a battle royal. It was awful, like over convoluted TNA booking, where there was a battle royal, and the last two people left had a ladder match, and the winner got a title shot, but the loser got their head shaved.
would we consider?
That's-
I know I'm jumping all over the place, but would we consider Aleister Black
Yes.
paranormal?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, well,
He never
remember
really
he
did
rose up
paranormal.
from the call.
Yeah, but
Coffin.
he would do like creepy.
He was
Yeah.
a
spooky
dark character, but he never used paranormal
Now he
abilities.
more so than before.
Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah.
more into it now.
Yeah.
And then
And I actually love it. Like,
Yeah.
coming from my background, I'm going to love it. But I love the mask. I love the
Well, the face
dark-
paint's supposed to be more of a corruption, and it
Yes.
keeps spreading
Yeah.
across his
right,
body.
like a more of a demonic.
It's
possession
always
that keeps
black
coming
metal,
over.
like esque. Which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
He's-
He's a big black metal
Swedish,
fan.
so
Yeah,
I miss his
Swedish
fucking.
death metal.
I miss his old music. His old music was so good.
it was, but I mean, they can't.
Yeah.
They can't use that. The new
Um,
music's okay. I'm not too into the new music.
One of the first paranormal matches I've seen, besides I guess a casket match. A casket match is like the first paranormal style match. Right?
Yeah.
Then it led into Baird Alive.
well, before the casket matches, but this was mainly on house shows, they would do a lot of body bag matches.
Yeah.
where,
Okay.
Like I don't know if you had to put somebody in the body bag or just a loser was put in the one. They would do it with Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about scary? When they locked Ultimate Warrior in that casket, that
Yeah.
was creepy.
Yeah.
This is when they did the funeral parlor.
hmm
And then later on, when Undertaker turned babyface, they did one where it was about to wrestle Jake Roberts at WrestleMania. And for some reason, he had his hands on the casket, and Jake slams the casket on his hands and locks it shut. And then Undertaker is just chasing Jake,
Yeah.
dragging the casket.
Yeah.
It's a great
Oh my
visual.
god.
That's still slow.
Another
Undertaker.
good casket match. Triple H Had that.
Wait, what? With Katie Vick? That wasn't a
God,
match.
yeah.
Kelly brought up the other big thing that came out of
It was a joke, by the way.
that came out of the Army of Darkness thing with
You know
Sullivan.
what we're talking about?
What?
When Triple H
Katie
had
Vick
sex
gang?
with a corpse.
No.
Yeah.
I
He
don't.
didn't. He had sex with a mannequin pretending it was a corpse.
Oh.
Yeah, when he was feuding with Kane, I fucked your brains out.
I don't remember that one at all.
Vince Russo wrote that.
I must have been on Channel Flip. Is that still when
Mhm.
Nitro and stuff was going on? Because I used
Yeah.
to flip back and forth.
That was the
Yeah.
height.
Yeah.
But Fallen Angel was one of the other women with Kevin Sullivan who became woman who
Woman.
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan
Yeah.
wound up marrying.
Mhm.
And then she wound up marrying Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
It was a mistake.
And then
And
he used his devil powers to
Yeah,
murder the
kill
whole
him.
family.
Yeah.
He did not, by the way. Just for very clear, he did not. One of the first paranormal things I've seen outside of WWE was WCW with Vampiro and Sting, the graveyard match.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember that. They had a terrible fire match too. Or loser must be set on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Infernal
I was just gonna
matches.
say, wasn't there some sort
Yeah.
of fire match that somebody
And
had to be
Sting,
set on
like,
fire
had
and everyone
gloves.
get out?
There was like a torch. It was called a Human Torch. match.
Yes.
Yes.
And they had
yeah.
a torch on top of the Titantron.
Yeah, the
and they
cough.
and they fight up there, and Vampiro knocks Sting down, and then obviously not Sting, the stuntman comes
Yeah.
up, and they light him on fire, and then he just takes a dive and lands in a
Yeah.
crash pad.
Oh, it's
So
awful.
as a kid, I remember the Undertaker just really, really resonating. I would say mostly all of us. I know there's a little bit of age
Oh, yeah.
gas between all of us, but the Undertaker is mostly our main
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I just remember like being old enough to really know wrestling and really, really be into it. And then the Kane debut
Mhm.
was
That's
huge.
Gotta be Kane.
I just remember being a kid and freaking the fuck out.
No, Andy and I were probably a little older, so
Yeah.
at that point, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Isaac Ekman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that at all. Like I
I
was.
was
Wasn't that guy Diesel 4 months ago?
I was at a shortly after that debut, I was at an indie show near my school, and Tom Brandy was there, and he was doing the gimmick line, and some kid is in the gimmick line going, "What does Kane look like?" And he's like, "He looks a lot like Isaac Ekman."
That's funny.
Trying to think of other some paranormal stuff.
Mordecai.
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 Yeah.
Mordecai.
And then when he came back, it's Kevin Thorne.
Kevin the Vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a vampire in ECW, the bad ECW.
a vampire
WWE.
named Kevin.
Yeah, and he had Ariel, this vampire manager.
Shelley Martinez.
Shelley
Didn't
Martin-
she,
yeah.
didn't she read tarot cards or something too?
When she went to
was-
TNA.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she
There was
yeah,
one
she read-
There was
opening.
something like that.
There was an
Yeah.
opening where she was reading tarot
Yes.
cards.
Yeah.
And then she was she Salinas in TNA?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was also Shelley Martinez. If you want to look up an all-time bad,
Yeah,
bad
I was gonna say the worst. She was not a good wrestler.
Rebel versus Rebel, who was Rebel, not Reba in AEW, versus Shelley Martinez in Impact.
Whoo boy.
One of the worst matches you will ever see.
Yeah,
It's up there
cringeworthy.
with that girl that pinned the tough enough girl that pinned the girl upside down and said count it.
Yeah.
Or Charmel and Jenna Marasco.
Oh,
Another promotion that leaned heavily into spiritual, like spooky.
Blackcraft.
oh yeah, Blackcraft.
Blackcraft. That's a good call. I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, people died. People got their hearts ripped out,
Impact likes to kill people, which is kind of cool.
but only in.
But then they
dream
come
sequences.
back like Mickey
Yeah.
James. James Storm pushed her in front of a train. She should be dead, not
Yeah.
the champion.
Well,
Well,
she's now
Chelsea
the
Green-
Undertaker.
Chelsea Green died. In
Yeah.
Impact.
Yeah. Who got stabbed? Like
I don't know. Johnny Bravo got shot.
He got
Yeah,
shot.
Johnny Bravo got shot. Yeah.
Wasn't
right
the
when she-
the Blade's girlfriend there. I can't think.
But,
They call her the
Allie.
bunny.
Yeah,
Allie.
yeah.
Right?
Was
Wasn't
she
some
stabbed?
well, no, wasn't she some
Did
sort
she
of
die?
demonic bunny
Yeah, I
in,
think she-
Impact?
I think
too?
she died.
Sue Young's like realm. I
Yeah.
think she died there.
Sue Young
Chelsea,
is a
Chelsea Green. Yeah.
Abaddon, another paranormal
Mhm.
character.
Yeah.
TNA's had a couple of Abyss, obviously. and
Abyss.
Yeah.
Crazy Steve when
Not-
they had their decay.
Not
group.
paranormal,
And
but
what was it? Rosemary.
Rosemary. Who's the guy in Lucha Underground? Mil Mortes.
Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
I really liked him. I thought he was cool with the big fucking throne.
Wasn't that Jeff
Ricky
Cobb?
Banderas.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, remember when he was in TNA? He was
Judas Macias.
Judas Macias. He was the devil.
You had Relic, which was killer spelled backwards.
Yeah, get it? He was not good.
Sam Hain, the movie,
Every-
local movie that was made. They used his name is their killer's
Oh,
name was
God.
Relic.
Oh.
Every time he would be there. Every time they'd say his name, Mike Tenay would be like Relic, and that's killer spelled backwards every time.
Yeah, like that's
Like
the
they're
whole.
trying to drive it home, huh?
Like, not only is that the gimmick, that's all the gimmick is.
Yeah.
and that was
then
Johnny the Bull. That was Johnny Stamboli.
Yeah,
Well, you
with
know,
a-
another one too that I don't think people really realize is Finn Balor. Finn
The
Balor
demon?
is, yes, he is. That is Irish and Celtic mythology. His first name Finn is Finn McCool. He was like this ultimate like Celtic hero, badass, sword swinging.
It's also a much better name than Fergal.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Fergal's his real name,
Yes,
right?
his
Yeah.
That's his real name, Fergal.
And then
Yeah.
Balor
Real
was
name's
like a
Fergal.
one-eyed monster, like a big. They
Yeah.
called them the Fomorians in Celtic
Yeah, it's a
mythology.
cool name.
He was like, and that was Finn's father in the actual.
She's gonna kill a bunch
Yeah.
of Lucian.
He was Finn's father. He was Finn McCool's actual father in
Yeah.
the folklore. So that I think is one of the best supernaturals right now going. I don't know if he
Well,
still does it. Does he?
I hope not,
I-
because they just killed his character.
Yeah, he was
What?
Roman beat the demon.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not only did he beat the demon, so
The rope broke.
Yeah, the
That
rope
was
so
broke.
the demon got beat down.
Was this on pay-per-view?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the demon
Oh.
got beat down, and then his music started playing.
the heartbeat that
The heartbeats are playing. So he arose. He was like convulsing on the ground after every heartbeat, then rose up, and then beat the fuck out of both Usos and beat the shit out of Roman. Powerbombed him through a table, rolled him in the ring. His music is now going crazy.
Yeah.
He gets on the top rope. He's gonna do the coup de grace to win the whole match.
Yeah.
And the top rope snaps,
And he's done.
and his knee blows out, and then
Again.
Roman pins him. And they never ever explained why the top rope snapped, and we just moved on like it never happened.
Yeah, and that was the first appearance of the demon in over a year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that character is just
And
wash your,
obviously, like the
wash your
Fiend-
hands of it.
The
It's
Fiend is a super.
Yeah, Fiend and then Alexa.
Mhm.
But
then-
that character and
then
Finn
they get
himself
fired.
was so cool. Was so cool in NXT when
The-
he came out as Jack the Ripper. That was like,
I was
oh
gonna
my
say
god,
the
that's
Jack
awesome.
the Ripper one was the best, and then
Yeah.
he would always paint something on his back to represent the city he was in.
Yes.
So like the apple, like New York,
Yeah.
the eye with the
Remember that,
apple. and
yeah.
super cool character.
Yeah.
Even the Wyatt family when they became, because he's like
the Wyatt family
cult
was
leader,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Wyatt family.
cult leader / he has mind powers.
The Bludgeon Brothers, they didn't really use paranormal, but they were kind of creepy.
Kinda, but not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Filthy Tom Lawler described that Bray Wyatt really well. He called him a fat, dirty wizard.
Yeah, because he was.
When Bray
But
Wyatt,
Waylon Mercy, kind of, because Waylon Mercy was a killer, serial killer, basically.
when
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt comes back, is he paranormal?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Even with that Malachi Black there?
Yeah.
But it depends. Is he going to AEW?
That's his gimmick. I mean, like, he has to be some type of
Does
out there. Yeah. I mean, he's not just going to be Wyndham Rotundo,
Yeah.
professional wrestler.
No, he'll fade into the background if he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Waylon Mercy, by the way, was very, very, very much based on Max Cady in the movie Cape Fear.
Yeah. Calculated killer.
I can't
That's real
really
nice.
I can't really think. Oh, so I think in modern time we named a bunch, and then the only one we didn't name is the gentleman on my T-shirt.
There you go, Danhausen.
Is very even.
Yeah.
Denhausen. Any other modern day?
There was a
No.
girl in Shimmer Mischief. It
Yeah,
was like, yeah. And even
Daphne a little.
Daphne,
bit,
yeah.
Well, what
Like,
about
she
Amber
was-
Moon? Why?
Yeah, she was a werewolf.
She was kind of like that, like kind of off edge. Yeah.
Remember, she was a werewolf vampire, but we're never going to actually get into it to see what she is.
I think she just kind of used a D&D character she had, just
Yeah.
kind of used
Oh.
that, but never utilized.
I don't think that was her.
See,
I
when
think
she
that
was
was
coming
their
up,
fault.
I really liked her, and then
I
by
love
that
Amber
time, I was just starting to get out of NXT. And
Yeah.
She's probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
female talents.
Yeah.
I still think she has one of the best finishers in professional
Yeah.
wrestling.
Here's a very short-lived one. He had a much larger run in Memphis. Fantasio,
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
spellbinder in USWA.
Spellcaster.
Mhm.
He was a magician. He would but he would do like fun, like silly magic tricks. Like he would try to give his opponent a wedgie, but pull his underwear completely out.
Yeah.
And he would do like the infinite handkerchief thing. Like
Yeah.
just,
So I
Really
think that
silly.
covers most of.
Oh, Loch Ness and
Loch Ness.
W.
I mean,
that's part of the larger dungeon.
the
to do.
the Yeti.
The Yeti.
Hey.
Well, what about in WCW? Wasn't there like Glacier or somebody that was trying to be a knockoff Sub-Zero?
Yeah, it was
Well,
Sub-Zero.
Glacier
Glacier and
the whole thing.
Mortis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrath.
It was the whole thing was to create a Mortal Kombat. line.
Yeah.
And then Midway stepped in and said,
So
"Hey,
let's.
a little too close. there."
Smoky Mountain had Prince Karras.
You know, we didn't say fucking Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
Oh God,
Boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
him eating the worms used to creep me out a little bit too.
And
It's not like
smash
anything.
the clock over his head.
Yeah.
And he'd appear in the mirrors.
That didn't
Like
bother. it was the
Warrior.
freaking
Here's
worms.
a
It's like,
character.
oh.
Sorry, canceled character. I want to pose it to you. Is it supernatural? Joey Ryan.
No.
No, it's just dumb.
He's just dumb. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's give some love to the independent scene. Some paranormal independent people.
I'm
we
going to
talked about.
consider Smoky Mountain an indie. Prince Karras was a mummy.
There you
And Smoky Mountain was Jim Cornette was the main guy in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So super serious wrestling and a mummy. And the reason that
He also created the Boogeyman.
Did he?
Didn't Jim Cornette
He
create
didn't create.
an
I
OV?
I think the Boogeyman created the Boogeyman.
But he was
pushed-
he was with Jim Cornette.
He was.
I
he-
don't know. I don't know.
The Boogeyman was in OVW when Jim Cornette ran OVW, when OVW was still a WWE developmental territory. And this is where Jim Cornette got fired because
He slapped
Santino. Instead of, because he instructed all of the wrestlers that were in the crowd, all the trainees that were in the crowd, to act like they were terrified of the Boogeyman. Like, to treat it like a shoot, like this guy is scary. And Santino laughed at him. And Cornette yelled at him backstage and started slapping him, and he got fired.
Yeah, and Santino was like, he slapped me because he knew I couldn't hit him back.
Right, because Santino would have
Killed
broke
him.
Cornette in half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't see Cornette putting up much of a fight.
No.
Sorry.
Cornette's a guy who literally hid behind his position, but
Yeah.
knew that these guys would fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we all feel? Since this is my first podcast with you guys, how do we all feel about Cornette?
I
I
think
think he has some good things about it when he goes off, and then I'm like,
he's
"Ken, you're
behind the
just-
times, but I love him.
yeah,
just
he
gonna-
is
right.
he's a wrestling historian. He's super smart.
He is the second or third greatest manager of all time.
The problem is if you're looking to enjoy every facet of wrestling and enjoy comedy, enjoy paranormal, enjoy classic wrestling, enjoy pure rules, enjoy everything, Jim Cornette is not your guy to listen to because he's very one-track minded on
Yeah.
what he likes.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Hustle? Hustle had Bono Chan and what was her name? Mei Ling or something like
Oh,
that.
the dead girl.
Yeah, well, no, because they laid an egg, and then the egg became Muda or something.
Oh yeah, something.
Or no, it became Aki Bono.
Well, the gobbledygookers, clearly.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
giant decrypted.
Jackson in the chat from Murder My Dude and Cheesesteak Suplex says Muda, Kabuki, Shango, and Mortis. We said Mortis
John
I
earlier.
said Mortis. We kind of said Great Muda
Yeah.
because Great Muda was from the back in the time when everyone from Japan can spit mist.
Yeah, and
I love the mist.
and mist-
Every
I
time
like
it's-
the mist too.
I love
different color mist had different effects. Like,
Yeah.
one would blind you, one would paralyze you.
Yeah, one was poisonous.
Can you make a paranormal character? Like at some point in time, can you turn
I
spooky
can,
and,
I can make anything. I
and
mean,
just do mist?
just that. That's it.
Yeah.
Come on, spit mist and leave.
Like, yeah, just mist
The
people.
only thing, like mist is cool, but think about what mist is.
It's spit.
Someone spitting in your face.
Yeah.
I would accept it.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna
The only problem is a lot of independent places, like they only have one ring mat.
Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to, and then you get it on your gear because you put food coloring in your mouth.
Yeah.
And you don't want to stain someone's gear and stuff.
Yeah.
So I that's why the mist is like that's why I don't see it so much on the independent.
The last time I seen,
Asuka's, but she was Japanese. That's a Japanese. Like in D&D, certain races have traits and
Yeah.
abilities that they can use. Like dark elves can see in the dark. So Japanese people have the mist.
yeah,
And they all know
Samo-
karate.
Samoans have hard heads.
Yes,
and
yes.
every Japanese person can spit mist.
This is true.
And they're all
and
black
one
belts.
and one Russian can spit mist. Masha Slamovich.
Yes.
Oh, that she
misted-
spit. Oh, I didn't know
She
that.
misted Edith Surreal during,
okay.
during their match.
Wow, I did not know
It
that.
was so fucking cool.
Well, that was probably vodka.
That was Stoli. Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's probably vodka.
No, it was green.
it was green Stoli.
Yeah.
It was absinthe.
Honestly, I love Masha, but that's what put me over the top for her when she missed it. I was like, oh, I love this girl. She missed it.
So one guy we didn't bring up, and it kind of ties back into the guy in Smoky Mountain, was James Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, the Sister
The guy who was in the
Minister.
Dark Side of the Ring with Canyon. He was Prince Karras was
Oh, yeah,
the
he's super cool looking.
he was Prince Karras, the mummy in Smoky Mountain. He was his manager, Daryl Van Horn. And Cornette always told the announcers, like, just be like, he's not really a mummy. Come on. Like, this is a guy dressing up like a mummy to psych people out. Because Rick Rubin was a silent partner. The music guy was a silent partner in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And one of the things he insisted on
Big wrestling fan.
was, I want a mummy. I want a mummy in our promotion. So they did a thing where like he cut his thumb off and sand poured out. I was like, he just has his thumb tucked in there like that. But the one thing that James Mitchell would do that Cornette got a kick out of is he would do this incantation to summon Prince Karras, and they're on these conservative stations in Tennessee and Kentucky. It's like Bible Belt America,
Mhm.
and James Mitchell is saying the most sickening, like dirty things in Carney. He's talking about like Driziping Kizans and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Giant
James
Gonzalez. Paranormal?
Kind of because he was like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Undertaker's opponents were
Yeah.
like paranormal
Monster.
to equal, like when
There was like the Dungeon of Doom had like the
Yeah.
shark.
Here's a
Executioner.
I have one for you. The oddities
Oh, I was just thinking
Oh,
of them and I couldn't think of their
They're
name.
not-
That was Luna, wasn't
They're
it?
not paranormal.
in
They're
there,
just,
yeah.
they're just horrible.
Golga was supposed to be
You
deformed.
stop it. They were
Yeah.
great.
That's why he had the
Ugh.
like when he first started, when they did the Golga thing, he would have like bumps
Yeah, on
the
his head. He would
mask
Yeah.
rub his head.
because he was supposed to be like the elephant man. Like he was
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah,
be.
and
They
then-
were all sideshow freaks.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the freak show.
I
That's what I wanted to say, but I couldn't remember.
Well,
what they were
let's
actually
dive
called.
into the indie scene a little bit,
Mhm.
and maybe we can turn you on to
Yeah,
some independent
yeah.
talent.
I need to do my research here.
So-
Get my homework done.
So
here, I
not
guess.
only I'll incorporate horror movie characters.
Mhm.
So I don't know his actual name, but Phil was telling me about him. He's a guy who pretty much looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
Leatherface?
there's been a million of those guys. I forget the one you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
Phil actually had his mask. He wrestles in like Ohio.
Oh, I
But
don't
there have
know.
been guys just called Leatherface.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
in Japan. There was actually 2 Leatherface, and their names were Leatherface 1 and 2.
Someone that you
Corporal
got to work with
Kirshner
at
was one.
PPW just turned into a horror movie character. You don't know who I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Charles Mason. He turned
Oh
in.
yeah. Well, not a horror movie.
He's-
It's an American Psycho.
He's
thing.
going
Oh.
off. He's going for the American Psycho.
Oh,
It's a,
then,
yeah,
that's not
That's
horror.
Patrick Bateman
Yeah.
thing. That's just a like a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's leaning into the horror movie thing. Like he's like
American Psycho is not a horror movie.
he's a serial killer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
serial
psychotic
killer is not
thriller.
technically horror. Like JFK was killed, but that's not horror.
Yeah, but he's in the realm of a where
Yeah,
he's
no,
a mass
I don't-
Do you
murderer.
think this-
I'm on the page with Tony here.
Do you
That-
think
that
The
was a
Silence
horror
of the
movie.
Lambs is a horror movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
I don't.
It's a thriller
it's-
horror.
Yeah. When I think horror, I think it's either
See-
slasher flick or supernatural.
See, I
Yeah.
think horror. I think thriller is a subdivision of
Of
horror.
right.
Here is why Silence of the Lambs is not a horror movie. It's good.
Zing! Ba-da-boom.
I'll be here all night.
I disagree, but
Oh, you
I,
think it's a bad
what
I
was it?
understand where it's coming from.
I just heard on the radio today the most popular horror film is still Psycho from what was it, 63 or
Is
73?
is Scream a horror movie?
Yeah. It's a slasher flick.
That's
It's
a,
a
yeah.
subgenre of horror.
But it is also a whodunit.
Yeah, that's
Well,
like,
yeah,
Scream, also a good movie.
horror movies can also
Fantastic
be
movie.
other
Really?
things, but
Yeah.
other movies
Yeah.
really can't be horror.
Like it's like the original Halloween is very much a good movie.
Yeah.
But like the original Halloween is more of suspense. But
Yeah.
But no, like American Psycho is a character study. Like if you've have you seen the movie?
Mhm.
Like a lot of the movie is like, is this really happening or is this in this guy's head?
Absolutely, yeah.
But I wouldn't consider it a horror movie.
no, I wouldn't either.
MLW has Mattis Kruger.
Mads Kruger.
Mads
Yeah,
Kruger.
Mads Kruger. Yeah,
Yeah. Independent scene.
Not
Someone
real
I
familiar
think
with him.
you would be really into, and someone who I actually want a professional wrestler to come on Truth Behind Illusion, because not only is her gimmick but she actually is into it.
Okay.
Is fucking why am I just I
You
lit-
can't, oh my god, you don't know her name. do
it
you?
just
let
disappeared.
him go. Let him go.
I'm not throwing him a line
I'd
here.
like to know who it is.
This is great.
Dude, I was just about to say her name and it just fucking
You do commentary
I-
with her a lot.
I know. I almost
She hung out with us for like 2 hours. and I
Kaya
had to-
McKenna.
There you go.
Kaya McKenna.
Kaya.
I'm so sorry, Kaya. I love you to death. You're such a sweetheart. But I've been drinking and touching other things over here.
Oh my god.
so-
hope there's
Kaya
no children
McKenna is she's considered the witch of independent wrestling.
Oh,
She uses supernatural powers. There's
See,
been
that
times
was always like my
character idea.
But-
yeah, daydream. But I wasn't a like I would be semi wrestler. I always like being like I would
She-
have wanted to
because
be a
it-
ballet man.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
that's
you
the
she
thing.
is trained by Seth Rollins.
Oh,
She trains out of that school. There has been times she doesn't do it all the time, but she does it sometimes where she's in a really, really tough match.
yeah.
She will put salt around the ring.
Oh,
She will put a circle of salt around the ring. She's in a tarot card. She's
Mr.
into,
Fuji, also a supernatural wrestler.
yeah. She has used like the moon energy and stuff like that. She
Yes.
wears a
Like a
crown.
Japanese-
You
I
would love
like,
her.
I would like her.
Yeah, she's really cool. You'd be into
you
her.
have to send me her name and stuff so I could search her.
Yeah, like I said, I've done commentary with her numerous times. She's a
Yeah.
sweetheart. I cannot believe she just disappeared.
Does she have shirts and stuff like
Mhm.
things? Oh, I'll have to
She has a
think.
shirt with her 2 pugs, and then it's
Okay.
like a tarot card.
Yeah.
I actually own both of her shirts.
Yeah.
Actually, she's somewhere on the table here. Oh, right here. Kaya McKenna.
Oh, I like
The divine darling, the triple goddess, the conduit of karma, and then
Yeah.
Edith Cyril's face is covering the other side of that logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a supernatural character. Ultramanus
that's-
Black.
Yeah, the Spectral Envoy. They were
Neo Solar Temple.
the Order of the Neo
Hollow
Solar
Wicked?
Temple. Yeah. Well, he was.
Well, he's
Spectral
yeah, he's a
Envoy, yeah.
pumpkin
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's a pumpkin man.
Yeah, a lot
Um,
of Chikara gimmicks.
yeah.
There's a ton. Chikara, we can go all day long
Yeah.
with Supernatural and Chikara.
Yeah, life, human size ants that can walk and talk.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if it's supernatural, but it definitely leans into like
Who
a
was the one
movie-
guy? The Callion, the guy who came in and like just killed everybody.
Who's the
When they brought it back.
who's
I
the
think-
Cthulhu style monster that came out of the ocean to kill everybody?
Oh, the
Hydra?
Hydra.
Hydra,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was
Yeah.
part of the Neo Solar Temple.
Yeah. Hydra crossbones and Ultramanus.
Yeah, he was a super heavyweight,
Yeah.
very strong man.
Ultraman Chikara was very into like everything.
It was very comic book.
Yeah,
there,
it's
there was
goofy
ice cream
characters.
cone characters.
Yeah. The El
See,
Hio.
I like
El
a little
Hio
bit
de
of goofy
ice
though,
cream
too.
and
I
Yeah.
wish I would have known about it
Ice Cream
earlier.
Junior.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
almost had a pirate once.
Okay.
There is a pirate guy in the indie scene named
Oh,
Benjamin
that just flew
Blackwell.
over everybody's head but Andy.
Yeah, yeah.
Andy was supposed to be the pirate.
You were supposed to be the
that was your
hire.
Jakar gimmick.
I don't know.
Oh, I could see that though. Some black eyeliner.
Yeah, I
and-
did that as Davey Lowe.
He did.
Yeah.
He was a pirate, and he would come because Andy doesn't drink, so he would drink iced tea.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How
Well,
did-
I don't think anyone should come out and drink actual
No.
whiskey.
But you don't drink otherwise
No,
then
no,
either.
There's a
no.
few guys.
not at all.
There's a few guys who do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't.
No, not everybody should be the
Maybe a
same.
sip. I don't know.
That's rafted.
Did you ever I've never seen your character of that, but
Mhm.
some people say you smelled like rum. How would you?
That was
No?
that was all.
That's all theater
that's-
of the mind.
Yeah, theater of the mind. You know, like when people.
I thought maybe you'd-
I heard solo.
I thought you maybe took rum and like splashed it on your neck. That would be fun if you went to a liquor store and bought a small bottle. And,
That's like when you tell something to one person and 10 more people hear it.
Yeah.
And it
I love it,
becomes-
though.
It becomes
Would that
urban
ca-
legend.
is that do you own? Is that your character? Would you ever bring it back?
I don't know because it's very limiting
Yeah.
if you're a drunken pirate. Like there's not so much you can
Have you
do.
ever have you ever thought about like rebranding yourself as a new style character?
I don't know. Yeah, I thought stuff, but nothing really.
So we had a podcast
depth.
one time, and someone said he looks like Tekashi 6ix9ine, and he hates it because he hates rap.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't heard his music, but I'm sure it's awful.
Yeah.
So he was.
But I don't
known-
look like him at all.
I actually
don't think
don't know who that is myself.
Yeah,
so.
I
He has
don't-
like tattoos on his face and
Yeah.
multicolored hair.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you like him either.
I mean, in a wrestling context, it's always Matt Hardy, and he did the broken thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's another supernatural Matt
Yeah,
Hardy,
yeah.
the broken Matt Hardy, a Willow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Itchweed, the whole thing. Senior Benjamin.
I feel like there's
Skarsgård.
more supernatural characters in professional wrestling.
Mike Skyros and Blackstrom were vampires in Camp Leapfrog for a little
Yeah,
bit.
well, Mike Skyros is kind of leaning into that tarot
he?
card thing.
That's cool. Yeah, he's
Okay,
the-
tarot card
with the-
thing.
I'm trying
Sorry.
to think.
I'm actually like surprised more people, like even in AEW, or like no ladies or men are really leaning into that. Malachi is kind of the only one kind of
him,
touching the
I guess
button.
Darby
now.
and Sting.
I think-
Darby I think is different though. Like
Yeah.
he's that like, what do you want to call him? Goth or
Emo, yeah.
emo goth.
I mean, you have Abaddon when she is on TV.
I think
Yeah.
Tony Khan seems to draw the line where he doesn't want anybody to have magic powers.
Yeah.
Where
Like-
in WWE, some people have magic powers.
Yeah.
And
when you shoot lightning people.
Yeah.
and you should do that in every match. Like if I was the Undertaker, I would shoot lightning at my
Well,
opponent.
there's really
every match.
there's no supernatural characters left in WWE, right?
Alexa
Alexa
Bliss was the
Bliss.
last one. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's when
And they're
she comes back, she
slowly-
ain't gonna have that.
They're slowly fading her out.
What did they do with her? Like I remember she dressed up like Freddy Krueger in
Yeah, like-
NXT, which was awesome.
She literally just took over Bray Wyatt's
it
character.
started when Bray was wrestling Braun in a swamp house match, right? And they had
a
this thing where
swamp fight.
they had this mixed tag team challenge, right? And Braun and Lex were a team. It was team
Mhm.
little big. Oh, little girl, the big dude.
Yeah.
Get it?
Team Little Big.
So in the movie, the thing that Braun wants the most is apparently Alexa Bliss, and then they see her, like,
Mhm.
and then Bray hits him with a chair or something, he falls in the swamp.
WWF had Damien Demento.
Oh, David
Yes.
Demento
Yeah.
from the outer reaches of your own mind.
Thank you so much, Jackson, for hanging out with us tonight. Jackson was also the co-host of Murder My Dude and Cheesesteak Suplex. So go
Never
check-
heard of him.
You have a new episode coming out. We'll do the plug real quick here.
Yeah, this weekend, this past week, we did, speaking of Halloween and spooky things, the most recent episode 4, we did a watch along. We've never done that before, but you can sync up your Peacock account to us, and we watched the Thunderdome cage match from the very first Halloween Havoc. It was Sting and Ric Flair against Terry Funk and the Great Muta in a Thunderdome cage match where it's an electrified cage and the
for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
it was a one time because then they
I didn't sync it up, and the episode played out perfectly in my car.
Okay.
You don't have to watch a lot.
It-
Yeah, I
it
love
helps.
the watch
Yeah.
alongs with the Tony Schiavone stuff. I just listened.
I listened to it in the
And
car and I
then-
enjoyed it.
And then we also covered the Chamber of Horrors match, which was awful.
Yes.
It was Elegante, who became Giant Gonzalez.
Who was
later,
awful.
the Diamond Stud, who became Razor Ramon shortly thereafter, Cactus Jack, and Abdullah the Butcher against the Steiner
Steiners?
brothers, Sting, and Ooh.
Too cold? No.
No, now I just watched this and now I'm drawing a blank.
Abdul the Butcher.
No, he
You
was on the
said
heel
that.
team. The heel team was
Did you say
Abdullah.
the Steiners?
Was it Barry Windham?
No, Barry Windham was in a tag match.
Help us out, Jackson.
Was it Ron
Yeah.
Simmons?
No, Ron Simmons was in the main event against Luger that night. Elegante, I already said it. It
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
Elegante
He's
stinging
a
the
good- yeah, he's a
Steiners
good guy.
against Vader, Diamond Stud, Cactus, and Abdullah. And it's a cage match. It's a cage where there's room around the ring to wrestle.
There's a supernatural character, Vader. His gear
The
smelled horrible.
well, no, I thought you meant the helmet he would come out with.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
shoot
The helmet
smoke
was
out. That was
awesome.
so cool. The Vader character was, I think, based on this like feudal Japanese samurai.
Mhm.
And
Chainsaw Charlie. I just thought that one just popped in my
he
head.
came out of the box. You
Yeah.
come out of the box, you
Get
get
over.
over.
Oh, instantly.
There's probably more in Japan that I'm missing.
Yeah, I mean, not so much in New Japan, All Japan, because they kind of stay. I mean, Great Muna is about it.
What was
Even
Matt
now,
Mikowski's character?
Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah, Nemesis.
How did you know Nemesis is Mikowski?
Didn't he take his mask off in the match? Yeah.
No, it's a running gag that they've done it a bunch of times. It's like, oh wow, Nemesis is Mikowski, but he does lucha. That can't be Mikowski.
Dude, that guy is so good.
I love Matt Mikowski's great.
So good.
And
Is abs paranormal because of the super strength of his abs?
yeah, because I mean, like,
or is that a superpower?
yeah, he has.
The superpowers aren't.
I think it's just hard work in the gym is really what it is.
Yeah, he's
Anybody
just-
could do that if
he's
they
built
put
like
it
a
right.
god.
I know
Abs
somebody.
is a chubby dude who wears a t-shirt that looks like there's
What?
abs on it.
No, he doesn't. He has great abs.
and
great
if you
abs.
punch him in the stomach, you hurt yourself. I love him to death. Yeah.
Aaron Roxas has a supernaturally strong collarbone.
Yes.
That is something in the local indies.
Aaron Roxas has told me to say on the podcast personally that he will take on anyone who thinks they have the toughest clothesline, and I'll take it, and you ain't shit.
You're gonna
That's
get
what-
this guy killed. You're gonna get him killed. It's all fun and games until Aaron Roxas gets hurt.
I'm trying to think like of local guys that had like. Just like sometimes it's just metal gimmicks. Like there was Nate Hatred in CZW.
Yeah.
And then there was Glenn Osborne. He was big in the.
Budenhagen.
Yeah.
He's supernaturally good at guitar.
No.
There was a tag team in the early 90s. I don't know if it was around the same time as The Undertaker, but there was a tag team. Sometimes they were called Double Trouble. Sometimes they were called The Undertakers.
Oh boy.
And it was, remember at Lunches of Hamburg, when Big Sal was there, we're like, I thought he was dead.
Yeah,
we
we
both
thought
said that.
he was
We're like, I thought Big Sal was dead.
Heidi, who's your favorite supernatural wrestler?
He's not gonna say anything. He's gonna say fuck you.
So real quick, as a non-wrestling fan, if I say name a like spooky, scary superpowers,
Like a vampire
who's the first one that pops to your head?
or an undead.
Huh?
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
Undertaker's
Yeah,
probably
that's the stock answer.
That's
Well, we didn't talk about the zombie, ECW zombie, who was supposed to be an alien, but sci-fi would not allow
How
it.
about the zombies who took around ringside and killed the Miz and Johnny
Oh
Morrison?
yeah, Miz never
Yeah.
came back.
Dead. Dead
No,
forever.
that was so stupid.
Yeah, the ECW zombie came out and just went, "Ugh." It was a literal zombie.
I
Yeah,
like it.
and then Sandman caned him and pinned him. And that was
There
it.
it is.
And then the next week,
That was his only-
next week he did it to Macho Libre.
Yeah.
So who are some of your picks for your all-time favorite
So-
supernaturals?
Vampiro, definitely. For some reason, he just stuck with me when I watched WCW. I liked him, and then he was like, they showed him with like the Misfits and stuff too.
Mhm.
Just
Fine.
I don't know how much of the show you listen to or how far you're, but I was the one who refused to watch WCW growing.
I didn't know that. No.
I was strictly WWE. I
That's why
missed
we
out on a
shunned you.
lot.
Yeah.
See, I was too. I was WWE, but you know what? Here,
I went to a
My
friend's
dad-
house and
my
they did
dad
the
would-
flip, and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
never coming back here to
well,
watch.
my dad would tape WWE in the other room, so I could flip back and forth between
Oh.
WCW. Oh yeah, and then we'd watch the tape the next day too together.
Oh, that's cool.
actually.
Who was your dad's favorites? Like,
My dad's favorites? Well, right now he loves Finn Balor. So when you said that, I couldn't believe he didn't say that to me. But he's going through some stuff too now. He's just getting over COVID and has some COVID brain problems.
Mm.
But he likes Finn Balor now. His favorites, I think Macho Man was one of his favorites. You know,
that's a
Stone- of
that's a
course.
possible topic for the show one day.
yeah, Stone Cold was one of his favorites, and of course one
Yeah.
of my favorites. You know, He didn't care for The Rock that much, but like that kind of stuff I can remember. He
Who-
just was an all over fan too.
If
You know.
if you just to kind of let the audience learn about you a little bit, if you had to make your Mount Rushmore of your favorite, not like who you think the greatest of all time are, but your favorite Mount
My
Rush.
favorites, past, present, future, or
a little bit of
all
everything.
of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Vampiro, ICP.
Oh
No,
God,
God, no. I even wouldn't put Vampiro in there, but he's like one of my favorite supernatural ones. Just because he had a different vampire look to him.
Mhm.
You know, he looked like he could have been a part
Yeah.
of the Lost Boys. Like
Mhm.
like Gangrel was like Interview
Listen,
with a Vampire.
Gangrel was
Yeah.
dope, but what
Yes.
made Gangrel, honestly, Edge was a good looking dude.
Oh God, yeah.
You looked at Edge, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
was
even into dudes.
different.
I'll let him bite me.
Yeah. He was different. He had a different look, different
Even
face,
though
but so did Vampiro when
Edge
he
and
had no
Christian,
mask
though, were
on.
not vampires. They were vampire followers.
Is that what they were?
Except, yeah.
See, I didn't even catch that as a
Gangrel was the
kid.
vampire.
So
I get really upset. Like Heidi's seen Edge on TV, and I was like, dude, he was like a heartthrob. And she goes, he has huge bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
He is not attractive.
no,
I'm
but
like,
but back
This
then
is like
he
50
was.
now.
can you stop ruining my whole fuck? She says Shawn Michaels is
But
not attractive.
His mystique
Well, not
too.
now.
His mystique back then is because he didn't talk. Like he didn't do interviews, he
Yeah.
didn't talk or anything. So that made him more mysterious to, especially to women.
Oh
you know,
yeah, like
you know.
Vampiro was a good-looking guy in WCW. Look at him now.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
not-
he was different looking back then.
Yeah.
He kind of had like the Brendan
But, I mean,
Fraser look. I
yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you know,
Oh boy, he
in-
fell off.
Yeah,
Brendan
in
Fraser.
20 years,
But
a
I
lot
still
can
love
happen to a
him.
person. I mean, not everyone
He
is.
had a lot of bad things happen to him in Hollywood. Like he was sexually abused.
Oh,
Really?
If you didn't know that, yeah,
didn't
that's
know.
what he got blackballed for.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like Terry Crews, except they didn't speak out.
He didn't speak out, no, and it was another man who was.
Yeah,
yeah.
that normally happens.
Yeah.
Does Mankind count? We said yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
original Mankind.
Lex Luger had the forearm. Jackson.
Surgically.
Yeah, but
prepared
that's
for it.
that's not super.
Is
What about-
Stardust supernatural?
Kind of because I think they
Yeah.
alluded that he was from outer space.
I
Yeah.
try and.
How
forget
about
that one.
Spaceman
Yeah.
Frank Hickey?
Is
Yeah.
Chris Statlander a supernatural
Yeah, she's
character
an
because she's alien?
Yeah, she's
Alien,
alien.
yeah.
Max
I didn't think
Moon,
about that.
because Max Moon's from
Ooh,
space.
He had cool gear.
Yeah,
Tagar, Lord of the Volcano. He was the volcano lord.
And then Kiss Demon.
we said
Hey, he's
about
back.
that.
He's in Impact now.
Dale Torborg.
Love it. I'm sorry. Go back to your favorites.
My favorites, supernatural now or not?
Any-
No,
anything.
Are you
Anything.
a Brett or a Sean girl?
Oh, it's Brett. No,
Ooh.
no Sean. Sorry, honey.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry to hear that.
I was a Brett girl.
It's okay to be wrong.
Thank you for joining our podcast for
Yes.
the first and last time.
Yeah.
I just got a Brett autograph.
Did you?
Yeah, I ordered it.
See, I liked Brett. So Brett would probably be on there. Stone Cold would definitely be on there because of my dad and me liking him so much. Right now, definitely Kenny Omega. His work ethic, I just think is awesome. But trying to think who else. I would have to really sit and think about that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to set it in stone.
I
either.
was not a huge Stone Cold guy growing
Mhm.
like because
What?
the only reason I wasn't is because I leaned more towards The Rock
What?
and I leaned more
Oh,
towards
no.
Sean. And when Sean beat Stone Cold, he always had that little like, you fucker, right?
But then
What?
Sean was gone for.
And then Sean was gone, and I kind of still had that stigma. It's kind of like, I know this has nothing to do with wrestling, but it's kind of like NASCAR. Like I was a rusty guy,
Okay.
but then like I
This
never
will be lost. On
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
liked
you
I never liked Dale
Earnhardt.
Earnhardt.
Yeah.
And then
See-
once I got
see,
older, and then I learned more about Dale
Andy and I
Earnhardt
are
or
gonna
Stone
have
Cold.
another conversation over
we,
this.
Yeah.
we fucking hated Rusty Wallace in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad hated Rusty Wallace, but
That's
he
my
loved Dale
impression of
Earnhardt.
NASCAR.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
anyway,
just turning left.
Stone-
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Stone
favorite guy's
Cold.
got to turn left a lot.
yeah. So
That's my favorite guy.
Stone Cold and Bret Hart were people I always respected their abilities,
Mhm.
and then as I got older and went back and watched their stuff, I'm like, they're fucking geniuses.
So your fourth is Sparky Plug, right?
Yeah.
That's your fourth.
Yeah, sure.
He wrestled Sparky.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite things that on Creep Frog is there's a skit thing where it's Abby Jane, Big Dan, and Avery Good, professional wrestler, and Avery Good is wearing a Sparky Plug T-shirt.
Really?
Sparky Buck T-shirt. Wasn't speaking of the demon? Wasn't he a race car driver in TNA or in WCW? Wasn't he Dale Torborg race car driver?
No, I think he was MVP. He was a baseball guy.
Bob
because-
Holly was really the race car
Yeah,
driver.
but I think WCW had one too.
Well, they had actual race cars.
Yeah,
drivers,
yeah.
like they had an actual race.
Remember
car.
when Impacted the retro show and they had who were the two race car drivers?
Oh no, it was just one. It was actually Zachary Wentz, I think, from MSK. Now
That show was so good.
He was
the retro
raced-
show.
He was Ray Strack.
Yeah.
TNA should just became that.
Dude, it was so fucking good. Did you see what fucking Jordan Grace is doing now?
No.
So Jordan Grace won the internet
Okay, yeah, I
championship.
seen that,
Digital
yeah.
media title.
Yeah, this
And
Awful
she
name.
Horrible name.
And
Nice looking belt though.
Yeah, and she recreated the Shawn Michaels pose.
Oh,
naked with the belt.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah. Jordan Grace is a specimen. She's like jacked.
She's not like Jack. She is.
She's jacked. I'm a huge.
It's too much for me, but if you're into
Yeah.
that, then you're into it.
I don't know.
well, I don't know if I can remember her. I think I have a picture. Or
wrestled
not
at-
remher, but
And
I
all out.
They call her.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
call
I
her the
think-
female Scott Steiner.
yeah, I think I know who you're talking
Well, she
about.
was on a
I'm
team
not
with
sure.
Scott Steiner, wasn't she? It was
Yeah,
it was
and Chikara.
See,
the last king of trios.
I
yeah.
still think Charlotte's like the ultimate lady wrestler body to me.
Oh, I don't know now. Right now,
She's real
I don't know.
skinny
I
right
don't know.
now.
I don't
would
know
say
right
Jade
now.
Cargill.
Oh, Jade. Yeah,
Cargill
definitely
is-
Jade.
Yeah, rip.
She's
But-
a little too much.
Yeah,
too.
Jade
She's-
Cargill
she-
looks
yeah.
like a
Oh, she
superhero.
reminds
but-
me. I told you. I think I said, but she reminds me of China, and I do like.
Okay,
her,
yeah.
Yeah, Black
but,
China.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
or like
Midnight.
Storm.
Yeah.
Like from X-Men.
Yes.
She cosplayed a store.
Yes.
Back to Dale Torberg in WCW. At a few shows, I think it was like a Thunder or two. He was MVP. It was like a baseball thing because he was involved in baseball when he wasn't in wrestling. His father was a manager, and I think after WCW went away, Dale Torberg was the strength and conditioning coach
Oh, really?
for the Montreal Expos because his
Oh.
dad or the Marlins because his dad managed the team.
Hmm.
So we didn't get an announcement for Andy Header, but breaking news: PPW just announced a women's match for the show. Danny Moe
Okay.
versus someone that we got to see at CFU as well as Leapfrog, Notorious Mimi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the redhead.
Yeah, she's dope. Where she's like, ah! Like she plays a super strong character, but she's super
Oh,
tiny.
I think you're thinking of Little Mean Kathleen.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Notorious Mimi is someone
Okay,
different.
never mind that whole
Yeah,
part.
never mind. But I'm excited for a women's match at PPW. I'm happy. Oh, there's as we're talking about her, she popped up. Where did Jordan Grace go? Get her back on my screen, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm in Jordan Grace. I'll show you here's the Shawn Michaels pose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Then that's a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, that
that's
thing.
that's kind of different though.
Yeah.
but she said that she
has
was
to be
trying
a-
to do the Shawn
I
thing.
could see that,
They
but
just
yeah.
did that with. Oh no, they did.
Obviously, she would have to cover two areas. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
was just
not-
gonna say.
that's- yeah,
she's-
that's
she has
that's a
to
that's
cover.
different.
Yeah.
Ace Austin did that with a
Yeah,
Sanctuary
he
title
did.
on
He
the.
did. He
yeah.
did.
Chelsea Green did it.
Tommy
with,
Dreamer did it too, and he's all fat. It's funny.
Chelsea Green did it with when they had when Cardona was the GCW champion. It was like the GCW title and the Internet title or something like that. And it was a takeoff of the Dudley Boys and Stacy Keibler because it was Stacy Keibler with the tag titles.
Mhm.
Was Mantar considered supernatural?
Yeah, he was half man, half tar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jackson wasn't.
He was out from. I think he hailed from the what's the maze
Crete?
called?
Is Hornswoggle
Yeah.
supernatural?
Oh, yeah.
No, he was just
Oh, Crete, the amazing
Yeah,
Crete.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle's
The
just a
Minotaur,
little
right?
person.
Oh,
actually he was Vince's son.
The last thing I want to bring
Actually,
up.
no, he was Finley's son.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the last thing I want to bring up is obviously speaking of him, he played Leprechaun in the WWE horror movie.
Oh,
But
I thought you meant Buddy Lee Parker.
Yeah.
he was a leprechaun in the Dungeon of Doom.
And then also WWE did a horror movie that I think is criminally underrated as a horror movie, See No Evil with Glenn Jacobs Kane.
mhm.
No.
Didn't they do a horror movie with Brodus Clay too?
Did they?
I think they did.
Might have.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But I know that the Glenn Jacobs
That's
See No
Jason
Evil
Goodnight. Okay.
was actually good, and it took place in the Blackwell Mansion or
Really?
Blackwell Asylum.
I never seen it. There's two of them. I know.
It's
that.
pretty good. Yeah. I think Heidi watched them like a few times. She thought they were good. I think that's gonna wrap it up here.
What
We're
about Zeus from No Holds Barred? Was
Zeus is kind of because he was
he was like impervious to pain.
Yeah.
So
so we'll start with you, Andy. What do you got to plug?
Jeez, we already did plug the Sanctuary. We plugged their shows already.
Well, there's other stuff on
what's
the
the
network.
show that Archer's not going to be on?
Oh yeah,
Figure
our RWF. That's November 7th.
Replaced with Carlito.
Yeah, replaced with Carlito.
And
also.
Tommy Dreamer on the show, right?
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer was announced for the show.
She's going to do the pose with the belt again.
Yeah, and Colby Carino, Steve Carino's son. Is gonna be there. I'm
Here's
gonna
the
be
thing.
there.
If you wanted to get inappropriate backstage, Tommy Dreamer's got your back.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Hey, I don't think there's any girls on the show, so I don't have to worry. I can't.
Here comes the header copter.
How about this? Woo!
You can come down to the ring doing the copter, and Tommy Dreamer will come behind you, just cover his eyes.
Hey, don't take that money if you're not gonna. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, the show's at
If
HBAC,
Andy
November
Header
7th.
flips it around, it's your fault that you got offended.
What?
That's what Tommy Dreamer said.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm lost.
Yeah, Andy does it all the time, so it's your fault. If you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
it. Sorry, Tommy Dreamer. He's back on Busted Open. We forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
over.
it's over.
It never happened. Brian, what do you got to flag?
ProjectHumanoid.com. This week it's just Cheesesteak Suplex. We did Trick or Heat is the name of our
Ooh.
Halloween episode. Trick or Heat. This is a totally original idea that nobody has ever done. We call it The Wheel is Spun, the Deal is Done. It's never happened before in wrestling.
Brand new gimmick.
We'll spin a wheel, and then that wheel dictates what we'll be talking about.
What are some of the categories on the wheel?
We have a women's wrestling category. We have a WWE only, Indies only, AEW only, tag team match playa, which is where we talk about tag teams. We have one called One-on-One with the Undertaker, where if it lands on that, we're going to be just talking about the Undertaker.
With the Undertaker.
We were trying to test the wheel out, so we have one on the wheel just called Test, and if it hits on that, we'll just talk about Test for that segment.
Is that the category we talk about if wrestlers who commit suicide? Right? Didn't test.
No.
He OD'd.
Oh, D?
Just
Yeah.
the OD,
Yeah, so I was going to connect it to the steroid trial
There you go.
that's coming out on
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Ring this week. Because
Yeah.
at the end, when he was Punisher Andrew Martin in TNA,
Mhm.
he was gassed out of his
I remember
mind.
when he ran into the ring and everyone lost their mind, like they knew who he was, and I was like,
I knew he was because I saw him wrestle a dark match right before he debuted on TV.
yeah. He ran in and was like, oh my god! I was like, why are we freaking
It's
out?
kind of like blonde Kevin Nash, that's skinnier.
I was like, why are we going crazy?
Did well with the ladies in his time.
Stephanie,
Yeah,
he was
definitely.
actually legit dating Stephanie, right?
Yes.
No,
He was.
no, he did not.
Oh,
legit
I thought
date
he did.
Stephanie.
But he did date Stacy Keibler.
And Kelly.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
So there's my
that's
young
scored
wrestling
pretty
brain
high.
buying into he actually dated
No,
Stephanie.
The only wrestler that
They
I
got
know
me.
of that dated Stephanie is the one she's married to.
Oh, and Macho Man.
I was
Okay,
just
yeah.
gonna say something with Macho Man there. They
maybe
always say
someone
so.
else. Yeah,
Mhm.
allegedly.
Move over, get out of the way, Marty Scroll. I'm coming through.
I did an angle with Stephanie, and now I don't have a job.
Yeah, but this would not be legal.
Anyway, what else is going on a project?
Murder My Dude will be back next week. We did an episode that came out this past weekend where we talked about fake murder instead of real murder. We reviewed Halloween Kills.
I
we talked
gave you a
about-
plug on Not Cool in High School. 'cause
Oh,
I
okay.
agree with a lot of your sentiment on the movie.
Okay, you hated it too.
I didn't. I didn't hate it.
hate it.
That's fun.
I didn't hate it, but I felt like you had to rewire your brain
I-
on who Michael Myers
I
was.
don't like horror movies.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because
Yeah, so when you go into it, you're not probably going.
Yeah.
I love horror movies. It's just the idea of what the character was.
I like
Yeah,
horror
I-
movies, but most of them are really, really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
not
B-rated.
well written.
So I
Yeah.
actually like when horror movies lean into it, where this one kind of tried to be serious, but tried to also do like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I do like when they're self-aware, like
Yeah.
Leprechaun.
Yes.
Like Leprechaun knows it's nonsense.
Yeah, like one of my favorite horror movies is Gremlins and even Gremlins 2, which is completely self-aware.
Yeah. But like when it's trying to be like, okay, this is legit scary
Mhm.
and serious, and it's like
They tried to make
a
Michael
movie can't
Myers.
scare me. Like
Yeah.
a fictional movie cannot scare. Like a jump scare might startle me, but
Yeah.
there's nothing you can put in the movie that's going to scare me. Like
When
Yeah,
I
like
when I
when-
watch horror movies, I try to put myself in that situation. If I was there, would I be scared? That's how I watch them.
yeah, but I mean, if you were
well,
there,
there's an
and-
easy way to escape Michael Myers. Leave Haddonfield.
yeah, I mean, if you were there in
But you pay
Saving
rent.
Private Ryan, that's pretty scary too. Like that's,
I'm more scared of paying rent than Michael Myers.
yeah.
Anything else for Project Humanoid?
There's merch on our website. You can buy. Well, Cheesesteak Suplex is kind of out of commission right now because we had a little issue with our logo. But you can buy like Murder My Dude merchandise. You can look at our back catalog of shows. Pedantic. We don't do new ones just yet. It's on hiatus, but the old ones are all there. Yeah, check it out. Listen to our shows. Leave a review.
Can we get a teaser of the possible next Murder My Dude topic? Are you still?
I
mulling over?
think it's going to wind up being a guy from Alaska called Robert Hansen, and Robert Hansen was a guy who would go to gentlemen's clubs.
my.
Some of the in Alaska,
now.
some of the women who worked at these clubs also had a side hustle as sex workers, and he would abduct them and hunt them essentially, like almost like the world's most dangerous game.
Mm.
So look into him a little bit on the
Interesting.
next episode.
Yeah, they do a great job. They try to put a comedic spin on actual true crime stories. They're not making fun of the topics, but they're trying to make them
Oh, and we're
lighthearted.
probably going to talk about how Alec Baldwin killed people. That might
Yeah.
be part of it too.
Yeah.
Did you see like the cops like found like it wasn't just one bullet on set?
Well, no, did you hear what actually happened with that?
No.
Like, I saw it on TikTok, and honest to God, I did. It was this guy named Freddie Props, and he does a lot of the props and stuff for Hollywood. And he had heard from people he knows that was on that set that there was a union like workers, and then they walked off because they didn't want to pay for a hotel room for them. Instead of working a 12-hour day, driving 50 miles back and 50 miles
Mhm.
back to rest and 50 miles back again.
Yeah, it sucks.
So then they threatened to leave, and then they actually ended up just replacing them all with film students and with like a trick shot person. So him and his daughter was the trick shot person or something, and she was out like target practicing with the gun, with live rounds, and she forgot to take them out.
They recovered over 500 ammunition rounds on set,
Yeah, like
which is like a huge
Yeah.
but,
red
like,
flag on movie sets.
I say that, but
How does that happen?
I say that, but yeah, Alec Baldwin is not at fault here.
No, he's definitely not.
It's kind of like Brandon Lee, but a lot of people think it was.
I
underhanded stuff
think
in
the
that.
biggest problem with Alec Baldwin right now.
But it was a real bullet in place of a stunt.
See, in my eyes, he is at fault because he was a producer. He was the one that
Okay, in
told
that
them,
case,
bye,
In that
we'll
case,
get to
I
the
just
film
mean
students.
as-
We're going to get these underqualified people in here to do this shot work.
In that aspect,
I'm sorry,
Right.
you're the one with the dirty hands
Not
there.
Jack Donnie.
I was just thinking of him as the actor, not like
No. He was like a producer
I
on
totally
it.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think what the biggest thing with that is too is even before this information came out, just because he did jokes about an active president, I think more people were rooting for him to be guilty.
The right was looking the dog pile.
Exactly.
Yes, the
yeah.
right was.
But
looking the
if
dog
he cut corners and those corners he
No,
cut
Yeah.
led to someone
pile,
dying,
and that is
Yep.
bad.
then yes, he should be
He
held
led to
responsible.
someone dying, and then the bullet went through two people.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's
So
like
it wasn't just one person got shot and dead. It was one person shot and dead, another one seriously injured
Yeah.
It's a lot
because
like
of
the
some bad moves.
it's a lot like the John Landis thing with the Twilight Zone movie,
Mhm.
where they did an unsafe stunt and wound up killing a few actors.
Well, that's
Vic
the same-
Morrow being the most famous one.
I think I told you this on Saturday. That was the same thing with Brandon Lee and the Crow.
Yeah.
He got shot in that one scene where he was on top of the table and all the gangsters were trying to shoot him.
And conveniently,
There
it was reserved to like the last scene of the movie,
Yeah,
which is
like
kinda,
one of the last ones. Yeah.
That's why they said
The stunt doubles stepped in and done the rest. I don't know. The Crow is like one of my top 10. So.
can't rain all the time.
Can't rain all the time.
What do you got to plug?
I never watched it.
Huh?
What do you got to plug? What are your plugs today?
I don't know. What do I plug?
Your business.
Oh, my
You,
business.
you can plug anything you want.
All right. Well, Crystal Mountain Healing is my business. I am a Reiki master, so I do Reiki and crystal healing. And I'm also a wrestling geek. So
And you will see her on Not Cool in High School, as well as you and Andy are going to be like tag team champions. And we're like a trios tag team. We're going to be on Not Cool in High School, Truth Behind Illusion, as well as not
we're gonna
Tornado
be like
Tag
the ultimate
Podcast.
champion though, because you do them all.
I mean, I'm doing them with you. There's going to be like a three-way champion here.
6-man titles.
6-man title.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be.
That's one thing. I
But
don't know. How do you
still
feel
not
about
at the
those
head of the
6-man
table.
titles?
I'm okay with them. But they're kind of a little useless. But they're
Yeah.
if you have enough guys in the roster,
Yeah.
why
And I
not?
mean, AEW has enough. What?
they could bring them.
Best friends.
ROH had them, and
Yeah.
they were
I
good for
kind
a
of
time.
like tag team with Freebird rules rather than 6-man tag.
Oh, see,
Oh, like
I don't
Operate
that.
does.
Yeah.
I'd rather these.
I think the Freebird rule is nice when it's rarity.
Yeah.
See-
If
see-
you get that more and more, it's kind of like.
See, the reason I like the Freebird rules is because I think you can make it have that element of realism too, where it's like, all right, you need to set your lineups before you know who the other lineup is. So say if like the New Day, right? So they're facing, let's say back in the day, the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
So if the Bludgeon Brothers are decide to say we're gonna do Brody and
But there only was two.
There were only two of
well,
them.
I'm just saying if they use like not the
Wyatt
Wyatt family. So if they're like we're gonna go Eric and Brody and go big men on both teams, and then they go, well, we're going Xavier and Kofi. Now they don't have that advantage of having the big men on their team, where I think you can do like the Freebird rules and kind of use that
But isn't
advantage.
the Freebird rules everyone can wrestle in the match?
No,
No,
you,
it's-
you have to pick
Oh,
two of your
people are
three.
sharing. 3 people are sharing 2 tag titles. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all. Actually,
Yeah, I think in that aspect, I dig it, but I think they have to do the whole thing where they write that into the story where you have to have your team locked before you come to the ring.
AEW has enough groups between like the Pinnacle, Team Taz,
Yeah.
Inner Circle, where they could easily do a trio.
Absolutely, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it'd be fun to watch. Yeah, I like the three word.
Speaking of that, during the I'm going to get the exact date during the Creep Frog show, Camp Leapfrog did announce Christmas trios is coming
Yes.
back.
That's I don't know if they announced a date, so I won't say anything.
I believe that I'm looking it up right now because I believe they did. I know there's one more show before that.
I
but-
know it will be. I believe if I could be wrong, but I believe it will be in front of a live audience.
Yes, yeah, it will be. I'm just trying to pull it up now because I know they did. Here it is.
From the
Christmas trios will be Saturday, December 18th
There you go.
Super Crazy Wrestling in Westville, New Jersey at 6 p.m. The second annual Christmas Trios.
Me and Brian will be in attendance.
And then the one before that,
And if you would like to come as well.
Yes.
also
And if you're booked.
I'm sure I won't be. So it's okay.
also at Super Crazy Wrestling, Saturday, November 27th, Happy Campers with the announced main event of a no ropes barbed wire match, CC Boosted Mag Zero.
Unfortunately, I won't be at that show, the 27th, unless Alex comes pick you up. You may be there.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but
Time will tell.
I won't be there because that's my peak season at work. I won't be doing much of anything.
When was that? The 27th?
27th,
Yeah.
Oh, that's ain't that?
It's crazy.
Oh, I was thinking. Never mind. I
My
was thinking
peak-
that's Thanksgiving. I was
My
like,
peak season.
No, it's a Saturday.
My peak
It's a Saturday
season
after
starts the
Thanksgiving.
Monday after PPW, so I'll be at PPW,
Okay.
and then it ends the night of PPW's last show. So I would
Really?
literally leave work and possibly go straight
Oh,
to PPW or going
yeah,
like
if
I'd have
you
to figure
can't-
something
I mean,
out.
that's a
yeah.
lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It ain't
it's a
worth
lot
it.
on you.
But I'll be what I might do that day is have, if Heidi's not working, I would have Heidi grab you and
Yeah.
meet me in Hazleton, and then we would leave from Hazleton,
Mm.
or just come back to Frackville and go that way.
If only I knew somebody who was going to be at that PPW show that lives near me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, good call.
That weekend.
So we'll do that.
Yeah. That weekend,
Durr.
I have the CCW is doing a double shot in Harrisburg. Or no, Lebanon. Yes.
The same day as PPW.
No, the 20 that when that
27th?
yeah,
Leapfrog?
27. Yeah, Leapfrog.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're doing because they have always have a huge Black Friday show, and then they call it like Bloody Saturday or something
Mhm.
like that. So yeah, Friday and Saturday. So I'll be at CCW.
Yeah. All I got.
Isn't that supposed to be like Small Business Saturday? Isn't what they think?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really
It's
are?
Small
Yeah.
Business Saturday. now.
Saturday.
There's
But-
like Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
buy a T-shirt off us.
Cyber Monday, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
That's when you
working
pick all the
for-
matches. Right?
Yeah. Remember that?
Cyber Sunday.
Oh, Taboo Tuesday.
The podcast will still be going, even though I'll probably be working almost every single day of the week that
Oh
week.
my
But
God. Well, if
but-
you need a break, take it.
yeah, but by the time I
God.
get home, it'd be like recording now, where I get off work and
Hey,
I
you
can
say
do it.
that, but let's
Yeah,
see what you say the sixth day in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about this. I'll find a way to do it.
Don't-
So yeah,
don't ring yourself out though.
Yeah.
that's what I do. If I take time off, I get in my own head and then I freak out. So I have to just keep staying active. But if you want to support us, head over to the Patreon. It's $1 or $5, or you can do $2, $2.50, $1 billion, whatever you want to do. It's there. Grab some merchandise. Check out the iwpnetwork.com. If you're watching this live on Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, make sure you go support the audio platforms on Apple or Spotify or wherever you would listen to podcasts. We just uploaded the channel on Stitcher. So if you are a Stitcher user,
Mhm.
we are officially on there now. It was something I wasn't aware we weren't on. If we weren't on, if we are not on your podcast platform and you listen or you watch the video, tell us. I will work my ass off to make sure it's on there. So let us know. Thank you all for the continued support. Welcome officially to the network, Kelly.
Thank
We're so
you.
excited to have you. Anything else before we close?
Nope.
Let's get
Yeah.
spooky. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy
Enjoy your time.
Halloween.
We'll see you.
We play the Halloween Havoc music.
Yeah,
every
we'll see you
Thursday.
next Thursday. Do we have a topic in mind? Oh, no, next Thursday
Yes, big
is
one next
Chris
Thursday.
Van Fleet.
Yes, Chris Van Vliet will be on the show.
Vliet. Sorry, Vliet. I always say
With a va va va.
ba ba ba. Yes, I got to practice on that. I've been listening to so much of his podcast. Does such a great job.
Really?
He interviews people in the wrestling world, outside the wrestling world, people in have cool businesses, have cool stories. He's very good at what he does. He's got a great following. We're very excited to have him on and talk to him. We got to hang out with him at Outbreak and then
Mhm.
again at PPW.
Mhm.
Super chill dude.
Good looking man.
Good looking man. Good looking Canadian man.
Oh, well, now I don't want him on the show then.
he's
Hell
a
of a
Canadian.
fisherman.
Yeah, he likes to fish. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna dive into and talk to Chris. I'm
I
very,
love
very
the
excited.
Canadians, so I'm good with the Canadians.
Listen, I love me some Canadians too.
Yeah.
If Chris, if you wanna drink a beer and kiss, you let me know.
Oh my God.
I'm
I was thinking, are my girls on my list Canadian? I don't think so.
you have no
I don't think.
I'm trying to think of.
I
is
have a lot of Canadians,
Pennsylvania,
who Britt,
Arkansas,
Britt Baker,
Florida.
Arkansas.
Tina's from Pennsylvania.
Tina Fey. He loves Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
Where's
God.
Zoe Deschanel from? Deschanel. I was saying that.
Deschanel,
Where's
yeah.
she from?
Canada.
Yeah, no.
Tina
maybe-
Fey and I are basically
Yeah,
the
white.
same
yeah.
place.
Yeah. I'm gonna real quick before we run this. Now I have to find out if who.
Where's Tina Fey from?
No,
Delco.
Oh, she's from
we
Pennsylvania.
know she's from there.
Tina Fey is from Delco.
Oh,
Where's Alexa's from Florida, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think she is.
She's from Ohio, isn't she? No,
Ohio-
she's from
no.
Ohio.
I forget.
I think
All
she's
right,
from Ohio.
So I typed in sexy Canadian celebrities.
Oh my god.
Guess who number 1 is?
Chris Van Vliet.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should've-
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
that was
yeah,
my real,
yeah.
that was my real.
How about
guess,
that?
Number 2 is going to be Nia Dovier.
Maybe type in sexy female Canadians.
Yeah.
No, we're Rachel McAdams.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is.
Ryan Gosling. Oh, I just
No,
lost.
I
it.
don't know
No,
who he is.
I think
I
that-
mean, I
know,
see
the
the picture,
Notebook.
but I
Did
don't-
you ever see the Notebook?
I
You know,
didn't.
the
It was
girly-
horrible because Cyclops didn't shoot beams out of his eyes one time in it.
We got one.
Oh, actually, Ryan
Rihanna.
Gosling. She's
Who?
from Barbados, isn't she?
It says
Yeah.
it says
Rihanna's Canadian?
it says
No, she's
Canadian.
from Barbados.
Yeah, she's from, why did that pop up?
The character Ryan Gosling played in Drive, the movie Drive.
Oh, that was a good one.
Was the inspiration for Orange Cassidy.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
I don't
I
think-
like the. I
Well,
like
I was
Drive.
thinking of Canadian women in wrestling. The obvious one is Trish Stratus.
Yeah, Trish.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Trish.
Chelsea Green, I believe, is Canadian.
Yeah, she is.
Is the bunny Canadian?
I think it's in Pepper Parks.
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Maybe no. Are they upstate New York? Because that's where
Okay.
Butcher's from.
Yeah. Trying to think of other.
Renee Paquette.
Renee.
Yeah,
Paquette,
Renee.
Yes. Renee is quite Canadian.
Natalia isn't, but or is she?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she grew up there.
Yeah.
Maurice.
Maurice.
Oh, yeah, but she's
Oh.
from the bad part, Quebec.
What?
Ooh, Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, she's Canadian.
Gail Kim.
Wow.
Rosemary.
I'm telling you, when you dig deep,
Yeah.
there's a lot
Angelina
of.
Love.
None
I
of
don't know
these
who that
girls
is.
are on my list.
Angelina Love.
Is Lucy Lawless? No, she's from
She's
she's from
New Zealand
yeah,
or
New
Australia.
Zealand.
There's a lot of them from there.
How
too.
about she wants to be the next Doctor Who?
Lucy Lawless.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have
I
a
s-
ton of
I-
a lot of women now from like New Zealand and Australia in
Yeah.
wrestling. The Iconics.
Yeah.
Rosa Mendez.
She's not from Australia.
Oh.
No, Canadian.
Oh.
Canadian.
Canadian.
She's from the
Canadian.
Canadian.
Terrence and Phillip.
Everything's 8-bit up there.
Yeah. So good.
We're excited to have Chris Van Fleet. Make sure you tune in neck. I feel like Wicked
Turn
Turtle.
too.
Tune in next Thursday for Chris Van Fleet. Bunny is Canadian. Jack
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
just joined in on another account. He's killing it. Bunny is Canadian. But yeah, tune in next week to Chris Van Fleet. Awesome interview. Very excited for that one. That's like the first. I don't want to insult other people
That's
on
the
our podcast.
first good interview we've ever had.
First, I said first.
He's looking right at you, Matt Mikowski. You remember that
Yeah.
next time you see him.
You don't have 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, Matt Mikowski.
Yeah,
First saying you ain't shit, Mikowski. That's what he's saying.
I said it was my first name on the podcast, and Trajan and Kit Rap go, well, fuck you then. Trajan's been on twice, and he's like, first name? I was like, it's Chris Van Fleet. I'm sorry, I'm a fanboy. Now we'll officially, on that note, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. I'll see you later. That's not the thing I wanted to click.